Up to about 80 in Hartford, 70s over the hills. Wind southwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And sunset today at 7:37 this evening. Tonight, early on, there could be a scattered shower out there. Otherwise, it becomes mainly clear. Some areas of fog developing late tonight. Lows in the mid-50s to low 60s. Tuesday starts out with some morning sun after any fog burns off. It's a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow afternoon with the chance for a scattered shower again. High 75 to 80. Maybe an early scattered shower in places Tuesday night. Otherwise, turning mostly clear once again. Lows 55 to 60 degrees. Wednesday looks sunny. Highs in the low 80s. Partly sunny Thursday with the chance for a shower. Highs in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, we have partly sunny skies with a temperature of 79 in Hartford. Dow is up 64 points. The NASDAQ's down about 0.5%, 145, and the S&P is down 19. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Dollar General.
If you want to find a new job this fall, make sure you hit the ground running now.
After Labor Day is sort of the final push of hiring, and we expect it to be a very busy winter of hiring.
Recruiter Jason Wachtel says you should update your LinkedIn, polish your resume, and set up those networking coffees.
This is the time where you put it in there because when you get back from Labor Day, the hiring really starts.
I'm Rob Hart.
One cart, one trip. Everything your family counts on. Tylenol for the aches, Band-Aid for the scrapes. Johnson's Baby for the littlest ones. Neutrogena for you. Find them across the store here at Dollar General. And Kenview proudly supports the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and Yellow Glasses. Grab a pair up front for $2 and help fund reading programs for local kids.
Are you a commercial building owner in southern New England? Are you frustrated with your roof services? Contact Eagle Rivet Roof Service today. Our skilled technicians provide tailored roof repair and maintenance programs to maximize your building's lifespan. With 24/7 emergency response and comprehensive service options, we are Greater New England's trusted commercial roofing provider. Visit EagleRivet.com for a complimentary inspection or call 860-953-1231. Protect your investment with Eagle Rivet.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
One cart, one trip. Everything your family counts on. Tylenol for the aches, Band-Aid for the scrapes. Johnson's Baby for the littlest ones. Neutrogena for you. Find them across the store here at Dollar General. And Kenview proudly supports the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and Yellow Glasses. Grab a pair up front for $2 and help fund reading programs for local kids.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, shh, calm calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah! Let's go! Happy Monday afternoon to you and yours. My scallywags, nutmeggers, conversationalists, young, old, and in between. And my morning breakfast. You haters, it's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. And happy Monday to all of you who so far going through it. You got your sea legs under you. You got your, what did he say? You got your legs up under you now. It's like Monday morning. Everybody's got to get back to work, and they hate Mondays. I'm raring to go on Mondays. Sunday night at about 9 o'clock, I'm going, let's go. Hurry up. Come on, let's go Monday. I'm in a hurry. That's because you people get back to work, and if I have business to attend to, you are in the office. You're no longer slacking. Barbecuing, going to the mall, nature walks, peach festivals. I went to that thing in Manchester. If you were there, I want to hear from you today. If you were in Manchester over the weekend for that peach festival, I want to hear from you if you were there. You didn't know I was there, but I was there. I have some grievances. In particular, my grievances are with our host, the people who bought our tickets, Maria and Paul. I'm going to give them heck today. Maria, you know I love you. Paul, you know I love you. But I'm not that old yet. I'm not. I felt so out of place. I mean, there were some young people there, but they were like way younger. You know, it's like kids, then myself and Roseanne, and then the older folks. Now, I'm not calling you old for the sake of calling you old. I'm just saying I'm not there yet. I'm not Peaches certified yet. There's a certain time in your life. It's the same thing I say about sourdough. You have to reach a certain age where you enjoy sourdough. I'm not there yet. Peaches, not there. Prunes, not there yet. Okay? This isn't against being old. It's just me against me being old. I'm not that old. I know some people make fun of us like, aren't you that old? No, I'm not. See, you guys have this thing called 55 and older, right? You know, the 55 and older community, right? Everybody thinks that once you have that, once you have a community, you've reached a certain status. I'm not there yet. 65. That's what it used to be. We considered senior citizens 65. Now, 50? 55? 57 in my case? No. I am not a peach guy. Apricots either. I'm not an apricot guy. Just not. I know, and again, I'm totally offending probably the core audience, but you know what I'm talking about. I am not being disrespectful for those who have reached that maturity. I'm trying to tell you I'm not that mature yet. I am not a sit down and listen to, I don't know, doo-wop. I'm not doo-wop capable yet. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind a doo-wop here and there, but I'm not doo-wop guy. I'm just not. People know what I'm talking about here. Matt, jazz notwithstanding, it depends on what kind of jazz you're talking. Like, I'm Kenny G jazz, not Al Jarreau jazz. There's a difference, okay? When I was a kid, Al Jarreau was considered, jazz. You know what I mean? It was very, you'll understand when you get there. That's all I'm saying. But I did the whole peach thing this weekend. If you were there, you know, God bless you. I had a great time. Folks were fun. And it was nice to meet a lot of people there. And I want to give it up to Mariah, the young lady who sang the Star-Spangled Banner. She beat up on herself a little bit because she was quite nervous. It's a difficult song, Mariah. But she was a young kid, and she is going to be something. You can see it in her. She's hoping to be the next pop star. You can see it in her face. She was like, this is going to be one of those moments that I, remember when I'm, doing, I don't know, Vegas or whatever. I don't know. Poor kid. Again, nothing against the whole peach thing. It's been around for more years than I've been alive. That's how I know I shouldn't do it. Everybody else there every person I met there has been to that peach festival since they were children. And everybody there was older than me. So it's just not my thing. So if there's a prune fest, an apricot fest, what's another one? I can't think of the other one. I'm sure there's something out there. But no, that's just not me. I felt like I was out of place. Like they were looking at me and was like, who's this young guy? One poor guy was telling me a story about his dad who was around in his 30s, in the 1930s, I apologize. The 1930s. I'm not that old. I'm just not. I haven't reached that level of maturity yet. I will say this about going to events like that. I don't look over my shoulder there. I go there, I go to Lyman Orchards. What's another place I've been to lately? Some other thing in Vernon I was at recently. But when I go to those things, I never look over my shoulder. And it's thankful. All of us can be thankful that in many circumstances, in many situations, we are not considering thugs, murderers, and ne'er-do-wells. This weekend at the West Farms Mall, did you see the video? Mike Ortiz posted a video last night of a bunch of animals at the mall fighting each other. Yeah, a bunch of animals street brawling at the West Farms Mall. And all the rest of the animals were running around pulling out their phones to videotape it. Oh, this going viral, girl. This going viral, girl. Get this, get this, get this. I was watching the video. I was just saying, ooh, ah, ah, ah. That's all I saw. Animals. That's what I saw. Yeah. Call your congressman. I said it. That's what I saw. Animals. And what were they fighting about? Something stupid they saw on social media? Huh? Somebody making threats on the gram? That they're out in the street like a bunch of animals, pulling each other's hair, dragging each other on the ground, kicking and stomping each other? And they did it right by the booth where my wife just bought her curling iron, where we met that beautiful Israeli and / Puerto Rican girl who sold this. I'm looking at the video. I'm like, we were just there. We were just there last weekend. We were right at that booth buying a curling iron and a steam brush for my beard. Right at that station where it was like, goodness gracious. It was like watching your hometown on the news. It was awful. Violent children. Violent animals. Yeah, again, like I said, call your congressman, whoever it is you got to call. Call the NAACP. I'm sure they'll be happy to hear. Reese on the radio called a bunch of kids at the mall fighting each other, destroying property, called them animals. How dare he? What a bigot. Anyway. But we can be thankful. Go to Manchester, go to Vernon, go to Coventry, go to Simsbury. You look around and you say to yourself, goodness gracious, it's so safe. But in other places, not so much. Danbury. Not the suburb it used to be. Working class, blue collar folks. No, absolutely not. wide array of ICE activity. 5, 6, 7 illegals arrested in prostitution rings, trafficking rings. It's insanity going on in some of these cities that used to be, working class, blue-collar communities. Now it's overrun by immigrants, illegal immigrants, driving around in cars without registrations or driver's licenses, hanging out at bars, getting inebriated, smoking and drinking, driving on the road, unsupervised, running into people, crashing their car, flipping them over, sometimes with young children in the vehicle, alcohol levels 2 to 3 times the legal limit, stabbings, more domestic violence than you can shake a stick at. Sure, there are no guns, but there are stabbings, senseless stabbings, gang-related fights. And here's everybody telling you we're the safest place in the country. Yes, you're right. You're not Detroit. No, Connecticut. You're not New York City. You're 100% right. Crime down 70%. Well, down to 70% versus 90%. Not as many murders as usual, but safest, one of the safest states in the union. But my question is, do you feel safe? Oh, sure, the stats tell you that you are safe. But do you feel safe? What about the deaths and the destruction you haven't been hearing about? That has to be reported by the likes of Eddie Ortiz and Johnny Cruz and, Eddie Torres and Mike Ortiz and Johnny Cruz. Or D.M. Livingston with the Waterbury Times. What about those stories that you never hear about? That only they report and the mainstream media ignores? How about the horrible crime statistics, where they label violent crime as, less than violent? Rewriting the statistics. How about the fact that there are more officers leaving the profession than joining the profession, considering it's a safer city or a safer state? I mean, it's supposed to be so safe. We should be getting people to move to Connecticut to join law enforcement. That should be the reason, right? They should be leaving New York City. It was like, screw that. I'm sick and tired of being shot at by these animals in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, or in the Bronx. I'm going to go to a nicer neighborhood like Hartford. Sorry. I knew I wasn't going to be able to contain myself when I said it. But that's not happening. If people leaving the law enforcement field right here in the state don't want to do the job anymore. 2 officers shot over the weekend. Suspect dead. What did we get from that? Anybody know who the suspect was? We still don't know who the suspect is. Anybody know why the suspect's name has been sheltered? 2 cops got shot. If I'm correct, both in the face. At least one ricocheted to the face. The police officers don't even get the decency, or at least we, as individuals, don't get the decency to know who the perpetrator of a crime like this a high-speed chase that led to 2 officers shot and a dead suspect, and everybody's, shh, don't reveal who the dead suspect is. I thought that that was important to these stories, especially when we have somebody so brazen as to get into a firefight with our law enforcement. But we got nothing. Do you feel safe? I think it's a legitimate question. Lamont says we are. William Tong says we are. Bob the Duff Man Duff says we are. But if you looked over the last weekend or so, don't look safe. Don't feel safe. Not to the people who would probably be most concerned. Waterbury, Bridgeport, Danbury. The same inner cities that overwhelmingly vote for the likes of people like Ned Lamont. Those places don't seem safe. I mean, I'm watching the clips. Looks like a third world country to me. But what do I know? It's right there in black and white, right? It's safe out here. I don't know, you tell me. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. You tell me in Waterbury, you feel safe? I don't think so. We'll be back. It's Reese on the radio.
DeGiorgi has been serving Connecticut homes for over 93 years. Call now to get up to $1,500 off your spring home improvement projects. Plus 0 money down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2028. Call DeGiorgi today.
Don Cussin here. In partnership with Napa Auto Parts and Auto Care Shops Coast to Coast, we have raised over $14 million since 2012 for the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. Through the end of September, a portion of every Cussin repair invoice will be donated to the fund. The fund was designed to help those armed forces and their families that are dealing with traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress. The fund has the experience required to get our heroes back to service or home safely. I thank you all for your trust and patronage in all that we do.
Cussin Automotive, we're all American.
Security is huge for us.
That's Pete Sweeney, Director of Operations at United Tool and Die Company in West Hartford.
We have requirements that we need to meet, and TAB provides us with the tools necessary to make sure that we're compliant.
Pete's confident in his security because he has an ASP, Actual Service Provider, TAB Computer Systems.
TAB provides our users with a monthly security awareness training where they receive an email for a certain particular topic, and those results are recorded and stored so we can show proof that we are taking part in this security awareness training.
Pete switched to TAB because his previous MSP's inflated yearly contract was killing his budget. As an ASP, TAB provides Pete with a higher level of service at a lower cost with no monthly contract.
I would 100% recommend TAB.
Call TAB at 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com. Technologies advancing business. TAB Computer Systems.
Hartford, we've got a problem. Home care is in crisis and there aren't enough caregivers to meet the demand. So if you've got a loved one with Medicaid or is eligible who needs care, don't wait. Freedom Care will help you get care at home from someone you already trust. A family member who lives with you and not your legal spouse can get paid to help with everyday needs like meals, medication, bathing, and mobility. If you have Medicaid, it's 100% free to you. No waiting lists, just real care from your people right now. Freedom Care handles it all, training, payroll, and support, so you can stay safe and comfortable at home. And your caregiver gets paid guaranteed, with 97% satisfaction and over 150 million hours of care delivered. Hartford families are already making the switch to care at home. Take care of your own and get paid with Freedom Care. Call 860-530-5203. That's 860-530-5203. Call now. 860-530-5203. 860-530-5203.
Freedom Care, we're here for
And now, a WTIC news update.
79 degrees, partly sunny skies at 2:30. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. A man is dead after he was struck by falling rocks at a quarry this morning in Seymour, the Haynes Quarry on Derby Avenue. That's where the 41-year-old from Wallingford was operating heavy machinery and was struck by the rocks. The Seymour Police Department, as well as Connecticut State Police and OSHA, are investigating. The hammer is about to come down on Iran economically. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent.
Those who stand with the United States will reap the rewards of our partnership. Those who tether themselves to the Iranian regime should expect to share in the isolation of a withering regime.
They're calling it Economic D-Day. Underway, the campaign that is underway to sever the remaining global ties of Iran through massive sanctions. Fatal stabbing investigation underway in Hartford. Some sort of altercation occurred on Bond Street, according to police this morning. A woman was stabbed. She's been identified as Nicole Tolado, 32, no known address, and a man and a woman are being sought. There's a suspect in custody in upstate New York in that fatal stabbing over the weekend in Rocky Hill. He's 55-year-old Michael Ranger. Warrant charges him with murder in violation of a protective order. The victim was found at the Lexington Estates complex Saturday night. Police in Waterbury say a man was killed in a dirt bike crash on Sunday. 21-year-old Jose Eduardo was from Carmel, New York. They say his bike hit a concrete wall near the tracks on Yale Street. WTIC news time is 2:32. Let's head over to the WTIC Weather Center. We check in with meteorologist Bob Cox.
For this afternoon, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds across the area. There's the chance for a scattered shower, and the high will try to reach 80 in the Hartford area, staying in the 70s over the hilly terrain. Wind southwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. There could be a scattered shower in parts of the area early tonight. Otherwise, it becomes mainly clear again. Some areas of fog forming overnight, lows in the mid-50s to low 60s. Tomorrow, we rinse and repeat. Any fog burns off early, otherwise morning sun, a mix of sun and clouds Tuesday afternoon with the chance for a scattered shower, high 75 to 80. Any scattered showers end early Tuesday night, then it's mainly clear again, lows 55 to 60. Wednesday looks nice, sunny, highs in the low 80s, comfortable humidity, and then Thursday's partly sunny, more humid with the chance for a shower and highs in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, 79 and partly sunny right now in Hartford. Dow's up 155, NASDAQ's down 95, S&P's down 8. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Is life insurance still on your list from earlier this year? Now is the perfect time to just get it done. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40, and her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Paid for by government. Have you heard? The United States Mint has released a first-ever dual-date 1776 to 2026 American Eagle silver dollar in collector quality. Minted in 99.9% pure silver with a one-year-only Liberty Bell 250th special privy to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Coin experts are calling this an amazing limited-time opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of the Silver Eagle. These limited edition collector-quality Silver Eagles are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted at the iconic West Point Mint. Call now and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver dual-dated one-year-only issue Silver Eagle. The first time in history this has happened, but with limited quantities you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7618. If you order now, you'll receive receive a free collector bonus of $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-888-7618 now to secure your new 2026 American Silver Eagle before they are gone.
I can't get the signal. Okay, seriously. Now there's absolutely no excuse not to listen to WTIC News Talk 1080. You can literally hear us anywhere when you listen on your smartphone. And now you can hear us on the Odyssey app, the iHeartRadio app, and the TuneIn app. So pick your favorite and search and follow WTIC News Talk 1080 in the app. Then listen wherever you are. It's really that easy. So no more, I can't get the signal. We've made it easy. WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
This health fact brought to you by ProHealth Physicians.
Parenthood brings unexpected questions. Do you know where to turn for trusted answers? Hi, I'm Madeline McCarthy, a pediatric primary care provider with ProHealth Physicians in Simsbury. From your baby's first visit to late-night health concerns, you can count on ProHealth. Our team knows your child's history and can address issues quickly. If you're unsure where to go and it's not a medical emergency, we encourage parents to call us first. Our ProHealth nurses answer our patients' calls day or night and may help avoid unnecessary trips to the emergency room. You can also schedule appointments online anytime. Most pediatric offices are open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays with Saturday hours. When your child needs to be seen, whether they're sick or due for a visit, ProHealth is your trusted place to start.
Make your first appointment with ProHealth Physicians. New patients can call 1-855-CTMD-411 or book online to get the care you need without the wait. Find trusted local primary care for all ages at prohealthmd.com/radio.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-568-6533. 800-568-6533. 800-568-6533.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
Stand by. We'll get to your phones in a second. So, as I'm looking over all of this, I'm thinking the obvious, when talking about whether or not there's a crime statistic or a metric that we can use. There is one available. Don't get me wrong. They use it every day or when it's convenient. And I went over the numbers and flat out, they look good. They look great. Here, this is what I found, and this is being completely 100% honest. Crime rates are low, and they're falling. Violent crime sits around 139 per 100,000 people. That's according to the 2024 data. Roughly 60% below the national average and among the safer states. Homicides dropped further in 2025 to about 70. Property crime is down significantly over the last decade. Plus, recent quarterly reports into 2026 continue showing declines in crimes against persons and property. Connecticut is not a high crime basket case. Incarceration has been cut sharply. Prison population roughly halved from its peak around 2008 to 2010 levels. Of the 18,000 to 19,000 down to now 10,000 to 13,000 range in recent years. Rate per 100,000 people is well below the national average and ranks near the bottom nationally for toughness via locking people up. Multiple prisons have been closed. Policy track record is reform-oriented. And you can make that case. Connecticut could be a case that could be made all around the country. See, soft on crime policies actually reduce crime, according to their stats, because Connecticut is not a tough on crime state. They brag about it. But see, there's just one problem. You would read all of that and just go, yeah, that sounds good, Reese. What's the beef? Well, this has to do with reported crime, not non-reported crime. You see, if you don't have a report, it can't go on your stat sheet. And where are the crimes happening that would probably send these numbers through the roof? It's the group of people who rarely report crimes. Who are those people, folks? Think. It ain't illegal yet. The immigrant community. Don't believe me? Let's take a walk down recent memory lane. Who's helping ICE pick up violent offenders in the state? Not local police. Not even the state. ICE has to do it on its own, with no cooperation on the state level or on the local level. The police are not helping ICE agents pick up violent offenders, or any offenders for that matter. How many times have you looked at your newspaper, local or otherwise, and heard about a prostitution sting caught by the federal government? How many crimes are happening in the immigrant community that police officers are forced to look the other way about? Those never get reported. And we know that there's human trafficking, there's labor trafficking. Well, both of those are the same, but you know what I mean? Sex trafficking, violence against those individuals. Who do they report to? If you're an illegal and you are, I don't know, being held as a slave, paying off a cartel member, and you see all of those arrests, and you're going, wait a minute, was that a part of the stat that they just put out? Because I'm not certain they just picked up 45 people in a sting in one town. That's more than the people they picked up as like regular Americans who walked through the streets. That was one sitting. Do those numbers ever get put in the crime stats? No, they do not, folks. No, they do not. Let's take Melissa Ramirez, the illegal one, allegedly. The one who's responsible for the manslaughter deaths of Cooper Whiteside and Brittany Islami. Does Melissa Ramirez's manslaughter of those two individuals get put on the crime stats as a count for manslaughter in the crime statistics in the state of Connecticut? Why would they? There's no reasonable reason for them to do that. In fact, in most cases where an illegal would be involved with a crime, it would probably be productive for the state to keep those stats way out of reach or not even report on them. Folks, seriously, now just Google how many illegals have been picked up in this state or in your town. Just find it, any independent reporting on it. The numbers will astound you. And then you look at these numbers that the state gives and you go, wait a minute. That seems incredible, because it is. Let me give a round of applause to my good friend, James Rutowski. I think we'll have him on the show at 4 o'clock, so we got to talk about the violent weekend that just happened. He just wrote this, and he said, there's the most important thing about crime statistics. They come from reported crimes. How many crimes in the city of Hartford go unreported? You want a true account of how people feel? ask them how safe they feel. And I'm telling you right now, they sure as hell don't feel safe. That coming directly from the president of the Hartford Police Union, James Rutowski. Ruddy is what I call him. They don't have a good accounting of crime in the state because they don't consider illegals committing crimes. There'd be a database for that. A way in which average folks would be able to check it. And it isn't there. You want to talk about whether or not the state is making you safe or cares about your safety? Sure, these stats, oh man, they're great. They look fantastic. But let's talk about this story. Connecticut Attorney General William Tong has joined a coalition of about 21 mostly Democrat-led states and the District of Columbia, suing the Trump administration's Department of Transportation, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, and the Department of Homeland Security. What are they suing them for? The federal government's demand for bulk access to the Commercial Driver's License Information System. That's right, CDLs. A national database run by the American Association of Motor Vehicle Administration that holds records for roughly 17 million commercial drivers. The feds want 5 years of data, names, dates of birth, license numbers, social security numbers, and related information. Transportation Secretary Sean Duff says every administration since 1988 has had access to this basic system. He needs to enforce the rules, revoke illegally issued licenses, and pull unqualified drivers, especially illegal immigrants holding non-domiciled CDLs, off the roads. William Tong is joining a lawsuit to keep that information from the federal government, therefore leaving those illegals with big rigs driving through this state, protecting them and not you. Why? What purpose does that serve? Who does that serve? If you live in a high traffic area in Connecticut, where commercial drivers come through all the time, where you've seen accidents, the overturning of big rigs that have held you up in traffic, knowing that there are large numbers of illegals, some of which can't even read a road sign. Think about the crap you got to go through when you get your license, your kids even. When they get their license, can you read this? What does this sign mean? Yield. Then to see one of these guys sitting out in the street going, do you know what that says? I don't know. I cannot read. It says stop. Well, I don't know that word. Imagine the stuff that your kids got to go through. Then the nervousness you go through having to put your kid behind the wheel of a car. And now knowing that the state and people like William Tong are protecting people who can't even read the road sign that you've been test driving with your kid to learn. And their response to that is, no, that's all safe. We're safe. Safest city, safest state in the country. Soft on crime. No helping of the federal government. Sanctuary state, illegals causing manslaughter, any which way you look, prostitution, trafficking of all sorts. And you're seeing it playing out as it's right there in front of you. You're watching it on the news, and then they hand you this nonsense stat that goes, there's nothing here. Come on, folks. We come back. I'll take your phone calls. You feel safe? Huh? Safest state? We'll find out. Let's Reese on the radio. Stand by.
Now at McDonald's, there's a meal deal with your name on it. And your name doesn't have to be meal or deal to get it. But it can be.
With McValue, get a meal deal featuring a McDouble, 4-piece McNuggets, fries, and a small Coke, all for just $6. Or swap that McDouble for a hot and spicy or classic McChicken at just $5. Price of participation may vary. Promotion pricing may be lower than meal pricing. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation. Because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special, both for you and your partner. At Northeast Men's Health, we're the leader in treating ED in the area. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 7 offices, including our new office in Bridgewater.
Paid for by government. Have you heard? The United States Mint has released a first ever dual date 1776 to 2026 American Eagle silver dollar in collector quality. Minted in 99.9% pure silver with a 1-year only Liberty Bell 250th special privy to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Coin experts are calling this an amazing limited time opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of the Silver Eagle. These limited edition collector quality Silver Eagles are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted at the iconic West Point Mint. Call now and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver dual dated 1-year only issue Silver Eagle. The first time in history this has happened, but with limited quantities you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7618. If you order now, you'll receive a free collector bonus of $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-888-7618 now to secure your new 2026 American Silver Eagle before they are gone.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, Reese on the radio. I'll grab your phones 2 seconds. Dennis is in the Reese on the radio chat room. He says, seriously, if you hate it here so much, just leave. Dennis, you got to be new. And I don't begrudge you. If you're new, you just hear this and you immediately understand the program. You're new. You don't understand the program. I love this state more than you do. And everybody here knows it. I got a long history of loving Connecticut. And I don't just moan about it. How I know you're new is that you don't know exactly the effort I put in protecting this state. I got that under wraps too. But perhaps you should just go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, just link any place, Facebook, X, and just check me out. And then realize whether or not I love this state or hate this state. What I am talking about, and as far as the people here are concerned, I love them more than anything. But it's our elected officials I got the issue with. They serve us, and they serve us poorly. So my beef, if you're paying attention, which is clearly you're not, my beef is with the stewardship of this state, which shows that they are not representing what we want, what they want. And this is a perfect example with Attorney General William Tong. Protecting illegals who have CDLs to drive big rigs through our state instead of those who might suffer the ultimate sacrifice of losing their life with them on the road. Now, I ask you, do you hate that? Because I would consider that a good reason to not like William Tong or what he's doing or his policies. But then again, I could be wrong. What do I know? Let's take Ryan in Coventry. I apologize. Ryan, how are you, sir? Did I get him wrong there? How did I do that? Did I really do that wrong? There he is. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Fantastic. How are you, man?
I'm great, man. What's up?
Nothing. I was calling in about the Peach Festival. You're pretty locked in on this now.
Well, let me. You know what? I'll let you deal with.
Turn you went there.
I know. I'll let you. You know what? Stay on the line for a second. I'll get back to you on.
No, it's fine, man. With this, you're absolutely right. That guy that's complaining, that's their problem. It's that liberal guilt.
Yep.
Everything's okay up until it affects them, and then all of a sudden we're supposed to throw out the common sense rule book.
Yeah, but why didn't anybody care? Why didn't anybody care? And then it's too late.
Yeah, we put up the wrong way signs. We got the cameras. The DOT has been trying to push safety for the past year heavily because they're losing guys on the highway.
Yeah.
But then you want to take a stance like this, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy.
Let's go one step further. I had David Ferraro here, right, who works for, well, he's a subcontractor for DOT. He came here, he was on the program, even had dinner with his family. He's a great guy. I love David. But David was talking about the problem that we're having on the roads, that they had to put speed cameras out on the highway while guys were working. Why? Because we had a fatal death with somebody drunk driving on the road on the highway who would not slow down and killed a 24-year-old young man. Why do we need these things? Because we know that there were people out there who were, one, inebriated, and two, dangerous on the road. Now we're giving licenses to people who cannot read road signs. Imagine how many people we could save if we pulled those people off the streets in the first place. What about a guy who doesn't read slow down construction site or slow down men working? If he can't read that, he'll just blaze right through there and end up killing somebody. How about we minimize that risk?
Right. And I come from a proud immigrant family, but the difference is, you treat America as you're a guest when you first come in, and that's not what's happening now, and that's what they're trying to get rid of. Is all the rule breakers and everything like that. If you're not going to treat this the way America needs to be treated, immigrants built this country, and that's giving something to America.
Indeed.
And you feel a part of it.
That is a great way to counter this nonsense. When people say immigrants built this country, my response to that is you're 100% right. What are these new guys building?
Right. Nothing.
That's exactly. What are they building? It's like you got nothing. If the only thing you got is putting down my bed, putting a mint on it, or picking my vegetables, I'm sorry. That's not construction where I come from.
No, and if that's what you want to contribute and you're not doing everything else, right? You're not being a problem to society, that's one thing, and you're working your way towards citizenship the legal way.
Correct. That's all it is.
We're not going to have to follow all these rules as Americans, and then you're going to have a whole different set of people in America that don't have to follow the rules, that are getting all these free handouts. It's common sense, and it's like their liberal guilt is just in the way of everything, and it's it's time to really just kind of call it for what it is, and you have to put it back on these people the way you do.
Yeah.
So,
thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, man.
The Peach Festival, I won my first bicycle there as a kid, so I was taking that to heart a little bit.
Sorry. I'm sorry. They weren't giving out bikes that I know of. They were giving out free beef jerky. But that's another story. Thank you, man.
All right, bro.
No, I will say this. What he's talking about is a great point, right? We have to put up with the illegality of those who enter the country. We have to put up with them breaking the law. And then they get here, and everybody makes a fuss about making sure that we follow the law. Isn't that wild? Right? It's insanity to the umpteenth degree. Yeah, they broke all the rules, but in order to get them out, they put all the rules up for them. It's like, no. No. You've got to be held to a higher standard. Well, why can't they be held to a higher standard? They could have come through here through legal channels. They chose not to. I say if they skip the line to get in, we skip the line to get them out. Especially on a plane. Oh, this plane going to Guadalajara? Yeah, sure. I know we usually do veterans and women with children first, but this guy got in the country illegally. We're going to have him skip the line and get the hell out of here. I got to take a break. Stand by on the phones. I promise I will get to you when we return. It's Reese on the radio.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
3 o'clock, Hartford temperature 79 degrees. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. We'll keep partly sunny skies for the balance of the afternoon. All the forecast details coming up from Bob Cox. Police in Hartford are investigating a fatal shooting from early this morning. Officers were dispatched to the scene on Bond Street. There, they found 32-year-old Nicole Telado. Suspects, a man and a woman, fled on foot. Lieutenant Aaron Boisfort says the incident appears to have started as some sort of altercation that turned physical over several areas.
Looking at the video, like I said, there was a verbal argument that escalated, so looks at this point to be a personal dispute sort of incident.
Boisfort says those involved were known to one another and there is no danger to the public. The man is dead after Seymour police say he was struck by falling rocks while working at a quarry this morning. They got the call to the Haynes Quarry, 600 Derby Ave, just after 10:30. 41-year-old man from Wallingford was not responsive when police and medics arrived on scene. He was operating heavy machinery at the quarry's base when the rocks fell, police say, and was pronounced dead at the scene. An arrest has been made in a fatal assault and stabbing over the weekend in Rocky Hill. 55-year-old Michael Ranger, located in upstate New York. He's wanted in connection with the incident that took place at the Lexington Estates complex Saturday night on Concord Drive. Officers secured an arrest warrant and are charging Ranger with murder and violating a protective order. Officers were dispatched to the scene shortly after 9 Saturday night on a report of a victim who'd been assaulted and stabbed. She later died at an area hospital. Arrangements are now being made to extradite the suspect back to Connecticut. The victim's identity has not been made public. A leading industry association says statewide short-term impacts of President Trump's new 50% tariffs on Canada could be limited. But Dustin Nord, the director of the Connecticut Business and Industry Association Foundation, says companies here are concerned about things getting worse.
Where we're more concerned is the reopening of some of the trade issues between Canada and the United States. Canada is our largest trading partner by far. There was $5.7 billion in imports last year and billions of exports. We rely on them a lot as our trading partner. So renewed tensions between the United States and Canada is definitely more of the concern.
Trump is now threatening to expand the taxes to cars and car parts. The tariffs are ultimately paid by American consumers, according to the experts. The alleged leader of a cocaine trafficking ring at Penn State University is in custody. Augustine Abatillo is under arrest, the 24-year-old charged with numerous felonies. 13 others are being charged in the case as well. That dates back 3 years.
Officials say one of the suspects was known as the largest dealer of coke for Penn State students. The only non-student charge is one suspect's father, accused of hiding drugs and cash in a safe and obstructing the investigation. Penn State reacting to the charges, saying, "We are horrified by these serious allegations," adding, "Criminal activity, including hazing such as this, has no place at our institution."
Correspondent Lionel Moyes. It's been nearly 2 weeks since storms knocked out power to homes and businesses in Gary, Indiana, but thousands still remain without. Many parts of the community are still dealing with cleanup, and some residents say they don't have the resources to repair their homes.
Getting all of this debris cleaned up is also very important. Many residents have joined a class action lawsuit accusing the utility company of not doing enough to prepare for those violent storms. The utility company says they are working around the clock to get everybody back on, and they anticipate that could be by some point tomorrow.
It's ABC's Alex Perez. Shelves at grocery stores have been stripped bare, and the mayor of Gary says he believes not enough power utility workers were staged in Gary at the beginning of the storm. WTIC News Time is 3:04. Checking traffic. We don't have any accidents to deal with. Most of the road work should be coming to an end within the next half hour or so. Delays for us, 84 westbound out of East Hartford between exits 56 and 45. Over on the eastbound side, the buildups began on 84 east between exits 44 and 51. Roadwork should be wrapping up soon down in Cromwell on the southbound side of 91 between exits 21 and 20. Crews have been in the right lane there this afternoon. And a delay into the city on 91 South. Congestion between exits 25 or 30. Let's start that again. On 91 South out of Windsor, exits 35A. Into Hartford and exit 32. Here's meteorologist Bob Cox with the forecast.
During the afternoon, we'll see a mixture of sun and clouds out there. There is the chance for a scattered shower to pop up, and temperatures get up to about 80 in Hartford, 70s over the hills. Wind southwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And sunset today at 7:37 this evening. Tonight, early on, there could be a scattered shower out there. Otherwise, it becomes mainly clear. Some areas of fog developing late tonight. Lows in the mid-50s to low 60s. Tuesday starts out with some morning sun after any fog burns off. It's a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow afternoon with the chance for a scattered shower again. High 75 to 80. Maybe an early scattered shower in places Tuesday night. Otherwise, turning mostly clear once again. Lows 55 to 60 degrees. Wednesday looks sunny. Highs in the low 80s. Partly sunny Thursday with the chance for a shower. Highs in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
80 and partly sunny right now. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 146 points. The Nasdaq's down 150, and the S&P is down 16. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm fixing to tell you something that the insurance industry does not want you to ever hear. Bullies often delay and deny. I see them sitting on premiums paid and making money and dragging it out for as long as they can. Many times, we're forced to take them to court. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Their high-paid lobbyists are on a mission to make sure that at trial, jurors are not allowed to learn that the at-fault party has insurance, and in some cases, lots of it. I can think of no case in all my years where there was no insurance for the at-fault party. So let's fight back. It's all these bullies understand. Tell everybody you know the truth. If you've been injured in a car crash or hurt at a store or business, visit forthepeople.com. We're here 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Need good tech advice?
Must be a computer error.
Tune into the Gold.com award-winning Computer Talk with Tab, Saturday mornings 9 to 11 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
God, I love technology.
Eric Semmel and Dennis Howland of Tab Computer Systems will keep you updated with tech news you can use and answer your technology questions live on the air. Miss a program? Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in from anywhere via the Odyssey app. Computer Talk with Tab, Saturday mornings on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, we're back. I'm reading all these comments about the Peach Festival. I knew you were going to call about it. I'm not ragging on the Peach Festival. You guys are missing what my point was. What I'm saying is that I went there. I was reluctant when Maria and Paul invited us to go. And we love them. They like hanging out with us. And I like hanging out with them. It's always a fun time. Last time they invited us to a dinner party, and we were there, and we were like sitting there just going, we're too young to be here. Everyone there was older than us. They had more life experience with us. We felt like the new kids from high school. Like, why are we here? But it ended up being a great conversation. We had a blast. And it's not like Roseanne and I aren't gregarious enough, so we can make any situation a fun one, which we do. But this one felt out of place for me, for the only reason that I did not culturally identify with a lot of people there. When I mean culturally, is age-wise. I'm Gen X, and a lot of these folks were like the Vietnam era and older. That's all. I couldn't even understand that era at all. Just couldn't. So that's all I'm saying. The Peach Festival has a long history in Connecticut politics. Most formidable example was in 1994 when the state president, John Larson, passed on it and was defeated by Bill Curry, who did show up and became Democrats' nominee for governor, possibly the greatest upset in state history. State Senate President John Larson, by the way, Larson attended every subsequent festival until this year. Guess John decided he isn't ready for prunes. I don't know. Again, for me, I felt age-wise out of place. I'm looking at it, I'm like, am I old enough to be here? That's all I was saying. The young people are there. It's like this. And when I say young people, you go there because your grandparents go there and your parents will bring you there because, Nana and Pop will be there. That made sense for the kids to be there. Me, on the other hand, no. Absolutely not. But it was a fun experience no matter what. Just saying. Who's this? Mark in Colchester on the line. How you doing, sir?
I'm blessed, thanks, Reese. I need a second to try and tie the threads together because you're putting a jigsaw puzzle out there.
Okay.
You've answered your question with your opinion of the Peach Festival.
Okay.
Very few people realize that Connecticut has been hit by a silver tsunami.
Oh.
When we get older, we're not going to commit a crime. We're going to be in bed by 9 or 10 o'clock.
Very good point. That's right.
When we get older, we're not going to complain to the politicians that are overtaxing us because we can move to Florida. We've got a huge drain of the young people. There's nothing for them to do. Go to Hartford at 9:30 at night on a Friday or Saturday. How vibrant is it? New Haven's got Yale and 5 other colleges to get them vibrant. But, again, the low crime rate is old people don't commit that many crimes.
Good point.
Look at the demographic. And then when you listen to the current governor's campaign, he wants to fight Trump. I don't want him to fight Trump. Get out of national politics.
Yes.
Your attorney general, he wants to get into national politics. Get out. You're working for the state. But because we don't complain, and here's the last point, Reese. When's the last time you picked up a newspaper? There is nobody in this state walking around with press credentials in their little hat, taking notes and doing investigative reporting. The guys on the TV rip and read, rewrite it. How many reporters work at TIC or iHeartRadio? Very few.
Yeah.
The content is given through what you do. So you're doing everything. You're going out and hitting the ground running. You're interviewing the governor with tough questions that nobody else will ask. They're told by their assignment owner, show up, get a soundbite, we'll put it on the 4:30, 5 o'clock news. So we don't have a press corps in this state.
That's such a good point. Every bit of what you said is on the money. And I don't know, you know what it was? It shows how old school I am here. Because I had never done anything like I was doing here, except when I was in New York. But I was in the hip-hop game, so I would be there at these press releases or these album release parties, and I would ask the questions. So when I got to here and I was going to the press conferences, I looked around and all I saw were cameras, no reporters. And I was like, I was a fish out of water. I was just going, what is the camera doing here? No one's here. And the subject, whoever it was, were going, are there any questions? And I was like, of course there aren't. There are no reporters here.
Exactly. It's the soundbite world we live in. You know, the 5 second, 10 seconds, and then move on.
Yeah.
And that's where you and I have had a conversation. I don't know if you remember. I picked up my ice cream pie over there at the hotel.
That's right.
But the other part is, in this industry, if you watch and listen, we're no longer reporting to the people. I had a program director that would sit down with me after every shift and do air checks.
I remember you told me about that.
You're right. But, when somebody says, and it's 74 degrees outside, he'd slap me and say, you're not giving the room temperature, say it's 74 degrees. Little things like that. When, you know what I'm talking about.
No. You know, the reason why I'm laughing is because my wife gives me crap when I say it's 7 a.m. in the morning. It's redundant.
Well, and that's where the other part, when you and Roseanne were talking, she says she talks to one person. And your average quarter-hour listener, you got 30,000.
That's right.
But that's the way we were trained.
Yeah.
One person, people listen to the radio as one at a time.
That's right.
But again, back to your Peach Festival, the reason the crime rate is so low in the state is because of the old people.
Yeah. There you go.
We stay here because of our grandchildren.
Yeah, very true. Betsy McCoy is a perfect example of that.
And then when we got the politicians fighting with the immigration and the NICE, I'm going to call it the National Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the NICE group, when they're fighting, they want to be on the public national stage. They're
That's
not
right.
working for Connecticut.
100% correct. Thank you so much, Mark. Let me grab a few others here, man. I appreciate you. Let's go to Jim in Waterbury. How you doing, Jim?
Good, Reese. Yeah, you're right, buddy. Like, I live on the edge of Waterbury, almost to Woken. I don't even go to Waterbury.
Wow.
Except if I got to go to the VA or have some medical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But my wife goes to the Y twice a week, and I'm always fearful because she's had so many near misses going there.
Yeah.
And no, it's bad. And these politicians, they need to be run out of office. They're not looking out for the citizens at all.
I don't really believe that, TJ Duarte is here at least once a month. And he's here. The first time he got here, as well as DM Livingston, who, the editor of the Waterbury Times, they both said something. The two of those young men never met each other. And they said the same thing about Waterbury. It's as if the place only exists when something bad happens. The rest of the time, no one even cares about Waterbury.
That's true.
And that's the thing that DM is trying to fight is the reputation of Waterbury only being for its negative stories. And what TJ's trying to do is to get attention to the place is because there's a lot of people who are blue-collar, working-class folks who feel like they're not a part of the whole state, like they're some sort of runoff.
Yeah. I won't even drive my truck through Waterbury.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I stay in Woken.
Well, every time I go through there, I keep saying, no wonder everybody's fighting for it, because you can almost see the deterioration of everything. Roseanne and I stopped there once when we were first moving up here by accident because she got sick on the way, and we stopped at the hospital there in the middle of town, the old brick building. And I looked at that neighborhood and I said, where the hell are we? I was like, I didn't even realize are we in Connecticut yet? And I was like, whoa, it was pretty rough on the eyes. Pretty rough.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
It's a shame, though, like they got a beautiful YMCA there. When my son-in-law or my niece's husband come up from New Jersey,
yeah,
he goes to the Waterbury Y. He loves the Waterbury Y. He says the best one he's gone to, They have some nice things.
It does. Don't get me wrong. There are some great places that are in there. It's like not like the whole town is a blight. It's just it's sometimes when you look at it, you just go, I'll put it this way: it's noticeably bad where it's bad. But that's the best way to put it. Thank you, buddy. Let me get one more in here. Joe's in West Hartford. How we doing, sir?
Well, I'm doing okay, but I'm concerned about something. There's been several things like Jake Lang and Jennifer Lacker going on, but the most recent thing I have heard was about Miriam Khan, who represents Hartford and South Windsor and Windsor, Connecticut.
This is the woman who is slated to be the front runner to take over for, Doug McCrory is pretty much out after the primary, but she's pretty much the front runner to win his seat.
Possibly, but I'm just going off the cuff here. It's some information somebody sent me that she has a seat and has taken down the American flag from her desk and put up a Palestinian flag.
And this is something that someone sent to you. Is there a photograph that supports this information?
Yes, so far, but I'm not confirming anything. I'm just questioning: is this true? I know what you do. You look into things like this and could find out the truth, but it was kind of disturbing.
I will definitely make sure. In fact, I am certain that the person who can find out is listening right now. And I will make sure they get on, and I'll have an answer for you before the 4 o'clock hour.
Thank you so much. Take care, and happy birthday, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Okay. As I try to get people to understand this this thing about the violence here in the state, and I think it's spot on to suggest that it is an aging population here in Connecticut. But the inner cities are the inner cities. And again, they include Waterbury, New Haven, of course, section of it. I mean, the large part is, pretty much run by Yale, but New Haven still, it's New Haven. Bridgeport, of course, one of the largest city. Hartford. Not so much about the surrounding city of Hartford, but Hartford proper. And other towns. Sometimes New Britain, areas of New Britain, parts of Bristol. It could be a little, lax in the safety area. But the thing to recognize, I can't forget Danbury, by the way. But the thing to recognize is where those very violent pockets are. The dangerous ones. We have to recognize that, one, that they exist, and two, we have to ask the question, why? Why do they exist like that? Why has there been a decline in a state as wealthy, and when I say wealthy, rich in history, heritage, culture, like Connecticut? It's a New England town. People now treat it like it's drive-through country. I reject that claim. I do. I sincerely do. But I have to ask myself, what are the reasons for that? Is it because the small towns that are beautiful aren't beautiful anymore? No, they are. They still remain beautiful. They still remain some of the best places to be. To take your family, to hike, to just walk around, to shop, to eat food. Some of the food here is crazy. We were just at Mulberry again the other day. And every time we go, we have a great time. So what's going on with the places where there is so much blight? Where there is so much decay? What's going on with those? And why does no one care? They have elections just like everybody else. They have police departments just like everybody else. What is being allowed in those areas that you wouldn't see in others? Maybe I'm lost for understanding it. But, I'm looking deeply. I'm looking deeply into it. Some of the comments here, I wanted to read this. Reese, you mentioned Danbury, Connecticut. Are you aware that the mayor was brought into the country illegally at 5 years old? He wants to allow people with green cards to become police officers. It was a story in the newspaper. Danbury is, as you put it, a third world country. Now, I watched that happen, becoming a third world country. I was warned about it back in the 90s, that it was on the decline. And to hear the reports now, which you can only find in local papers, right? Like the Danbury Gazette. I'm teasing. So like a Danbury paper will have in its blotter or something else about said crime happening there. But you won't catch it in any other places unless it is like beyond the beaten path. Like recently, there was like 5-6 guys that were picked up in a Danbury prostitution sting. Like, you have to cover that story on a statewide level. But usually those things You would know about them because they're in a small town paper, which never gets picked up by the bigwigs. And everybody knows why that is. Because you can. What's the news media here for? To give the impression of. That's what it's here for. The objective is to push the narrative. If the news media had to cover every horrible, despicable story that we knew was happening in the immigrant community, one of two things would happen. You would be screaming for change, or you would be screaming that the news media is racist. There are no other ways. There's no middle ground. That's it. Many people in the news media have chosen, newsrooms especially, no one can tell me otherwise because I've been in them. They have chosen not to cover certain crimes that happen in certain communities because of the fear of being called racist for pointing it out. Not using descriptors like black, Hispanic. Yeah, they know it. Because the complaints come from either, politicians who will say, hey, we can't be given the impression that black people are dangerous in our state. Or the rabble-rousers, the civil rightsers, who will accuse the news media of only pointing out the dirty laundry of the black community. By the way, did anybody in the news media cover those wild animals in the West Farm Mall on Sunday? Anybody? Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah. Call your congressman. Call whatever. Everybody, complain. Bunch of animals. That's all it was. That's all I saw. I saw a bunch of animals screaming, pulling each other's hair. Yeah. No. Call it whoever you got to call. Complain. Especially you NAACP people who, for some odd reason, weren't even around. Didn't even put out a statement. Huh? Black kids dragging each other all across the mall floor? Huh? Nothing. No statement? NAACP? National Association for the Advancement of Colored People? Nothing? Was this advancing colored people? Huh? Little Shanae and Shaniqua dragging each other by the weave all over the floor? Huh? Was that advancement? I don't know. Darquarius filming the thing to go on World Star? Huh? Was that advancement? Huh? He'll go viral. We'll be back. It's Reese on the radio.
Life unfolds in ways you can never quite expect. A divorce, a death in the family, a personal injury. Each time you are left searching for someone new to trust. But what if you had a full-service law firm that knows you and a firm that can represent all your legal needs? With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a full-service law firm. Visit bpslawyers.com. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Proud full-service law partner of Yukon Athletics. Nick Payne-Dearis is responsible for the content of this ad.
Is life insurance still on your list from earlier this year? Now is the perfect time to just get it done. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for
5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Paid for by government. Have you heard? The United States Mint has released a first ever dual date 1776 to 2026 American Eagle silver dollar in collector quality. Minted in 99.9% pure silver with a 1 year only Liberty Bell 250th special privy to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Coin experts are calling this an amazing limited time opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of the Silver Eagle. These limited edition collector quality Silver Eagles are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted at the iconic West Point Mint. Call now and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver dual dated 1 year only issue you Silver Eagle. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7618. If you order now, you'll receive a free collector bonus of $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-888-7618 now to secure your new 2026 American Silver Eagle before they are gone.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 3:30. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. We have partly sunny skies and a temperature of 80 degrees. U.S. is bringing the hammer down on Iran economically. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent with the announcement today and the warning for nations who don't follow suit.
Those who stand with the United States will reap the rewards of our partnership. Those who tether themselves to the Iranian regime should expect to share in the isolation of a withering regime.
They're calling it Economic D-Day, campaign underway to sever remaining global ties of Iran through a massive sanctions campaign. An Ansonia police officer is facing disorderly conduct charges for an off-duty incident. Officer Denise Ruiz is charged. Police say the arrest stems from an incident earlier this month. An arrest warrant says on August 10th, family members called police after Ruiz became combative after spending the day drinking at a festival in Stamford, after which she was briefly hospitalized. Statement from the police chief says the department holds its officers to a high standard on and off duty. An internal investigation into the matter is underway. Police in Hartford investigating a fatal stabbing. Officers dispatched to Bond Street on a report of a verbal altercation that became physical. Woman identified as 32-year-old Nicole Talado was found stabbed. Police are looking for suspects, a man and a woman. Suspect in a fatal stabbing Saturday in Rocky Hill was found in upstate New York. Michael Ranger charged in the stabbing death of a woman at the Lexington Estates complex Saturday night. Police say that incident was domestic in nature. And a Waterbury man, or actually a Carmel, New York man, was killed in a dirt bike crash in Waterbury on Sunday. 21-year-old Jose Eduardo. The officers say his bike hit a concrete wall near railroad tracks on Yale Street. WTIC News time is 3:32. Bob Cox with the forecast.
For this afternoon, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds across the area. There is the chance for a scattered shower, and the high will try to reach 80 in the Hartford area, staying in the 70s over the hilly terrain. Wind southwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. There could be a scattered shower in parts of the area early tonight. Otherwise, it becomes mainly clear again. Some areas of fog forming overnight. Lows in the mid-50s to low 60s. Tomorrow, we rinse and repeat. Any fog burns off early, otherwise morning sun, a mix of sun and clouds Tuesday afternoon with the chance for a scattered shower, high 75 to 80. Any scattered showers end early Tuesday night, then it's mainly clear again, lows 55 to 60. Wednesday looks nice, sunny, highs in the low 80s, comfortable humidity, and then Thursday's partly sunny, more humid with the chance for a shower and highs in the low 80s. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dow's up 163 points, the NASDAQ up 147, and the S&P is up 15. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Gear up this fall with the new All-Pro battery by Steel. Tackle any task with 60% more peak power. Exclusively available only at your local Steel dealer. 60% peak power comparison between AP300PC and AP300S.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Dollar General.
Lockheed Martin is developing new technology aimed at stopping drones, which have become battlefield game changers in Ukraine and the Middle East. Lockheed demonstrated its NetSense airspace awareness system, which uses commercial 5G networks to detect drones while demonstrating the ability to knock the drone down by firing a rocket from a containerized launcher. Verizon and NVIDIA helped with the tech. I'm Jason Brooks.
Good for you and good for the community. Silk is proud to partner with the Yellow Glasses Project, Dollar General's literacy fund for students. Pick up your $2 sunglasses and show your support. Then reach for Silk Original Almond Milk, packed with 50% more calcium than dairy milk and 5 essential nutrients. Find Silk Original Almond Milk in the refrigerated section today.
Brian Shackman in for Brian and Company on WTIC NewsTalk 1080. Hope your week is off to a phenomenal start. We'd like to keep it going for you. We have a great show on Tuesday. Obviously, all your news, weather, and traffic. One of our favorite segments is Tech Tuesday with Eric Semmel from Tab Computers. Plus, he's back from his third wedding. He's got 3 kids married in a year. We'll get the highlights, see if Mark Christopher did okay DJing his wedding as well. 5:30 to 9 is Brian and Company right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Effect that takes place when the first person orders a hash brown with a breakfast sandwich. Suddenly, no one in the car can think of a single reason why not to get a little extra crunch. And you'll hear a chorus of, "I'll do the same," from the back seat.
You can't do hash browns without McDonald's other breakfast classics. Get 2 sausage McMuffin with egg for $6 and any size iced coffee for $1.69. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Babbel proudly presents the Sheep Cheese Fiasco.
Cute market. Ooh, cheese. Let's get cheese. Cheese, cheese, cheese. Hola. Quiero una oveja. Pequeñita.
¿Una oveja pequeñita?
Sí.
Bueno, pues tengo como 20.
Oh, no. Oh, but they're cute.
Don't let your Spanish fool you. Avoid bringing home the farm with Babbel, the award-winning language learning app.
Can you make us some cheese, please? Oh, cheese. You're not cheese.
Practice with Babbel's guided conversations based on real situations. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will have you speaking conversationally in as little as 3 weeks.
Yes. Oh, you're so sweet.
Get up to 50% off on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's 50% off at BABBEL.com.
Paid for by government. Have you heard? The United States Mint has released a first-ever dual-date 1776 to 2026 American Eagle silver dollar in collector quality. Minted in 99.9% pure silver with a 1-year-only Liberty Bell 250th special privy to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Coin experts are calling this an amazing limited-time opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of the Silver Eagle. These limited edition collector quality Silver Eagles are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted at the iconic West Point Mint. Call now and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver dual dated 1-year only issue Silver Eagle. The first time in history this has happened, but with limited quantities you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7618. If you order now, you'll receive a free collector bonus of $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-888-7618 now to secure your new 2026 American Silver Eagle before they are gone.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Hey, he's your friendly neighborhood Reese on the radio. Right now on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio. I told you there's always going to be some rabble-rouser who's always got an issue. And again, I reject doublespeak, which... Again, a lot of these people, especially the civil rightsers, do not understand when they're speaking doublespeak. They don't get it. So let me read you the doublespeak, exactly how silly it is. Okay? The only people responsible for the behavior of those people in the mall you mentioned were those people in the mall. I know countless black people. None of them were involved. We need to start putting blame where it belongs, on the perpetrator. It's simply not right to characterize everyone in a demographic group by the negative behavior of some in that group, black, white, or otherwise. Really? Bob J., really? Why do we even have the term systemic racism? A term that, based on its definition, means there is something systemically racist that comes from what group of people? Whites. All of them. It's never described as this individual or that individual. That claim is generalized. And I love the worst of the use of the word negative behavior. Well, that means that the systemic racism, negative behavior, cannot be attributed to an entire race, right? By your own standards. You don't like it. I'm taking your words. It is simply not right to characterize everyone in a demographic group by the negative behavior of some in that group, black, white, or otherwise. So systemic racism is not a white problem, and every white person isn't responsible for it just sheerly by their skin color, right? How classic for you literally to paint yourself into this corner. I agree with you. I do. I 100% agree with you. We're finally there. We're finally there. So, why don't your folks get back to the rest of us when you find the culprits of said white supremacy? Individuals who are responsible for said crimes. Get all of them to do that. Every single one of them, from the ex-Ibram Kendis to whoever that redhead, fake redhead girl from, was it Project 1619 in the New York Times and the Washington Post. Every one of them, from Scott Extra Large, to Corny Betts, to Black Lives Matter 860. If you can get all of them to just come on down to the station and give me a comprehensive list of the people you described, make sure I get it right, the people who are not a part of a demographic group. The individuals who are responsible for said negative behavior. And until then, I'm going to keep doing it. You're not going to come over here with that nonsense. Get out of your feelings. Get out of your feelings. If Barack Obama represents all black people, so do those animals. I mean, we're going there, right? It's the only time we can be representative of one individual. Barack Obama is all black people when he gets into the White House. We see a bunch of knuckleheads out at the mall. All of a sudden, hey, not us. Why not? Well, we're only a collective on good days? Huh? When the sun is shining? It's bright outside? What happened to the rainy days? Come on, we're all not down for the struggle. Come on, I don't care. Look, I've never cared. I never cared. You see, I'm the purest example of individualism. Well, everybody screams what I'm supposed to do as the so-called black man. When it doesn't look so good, you immediately want to turn to individualism. Now, all of a sudden, you're in my camp. Now it's about the perpetrators of said crime. Now it's about the perpetrators of said bad will. Now it's them. So, what are you telling me exactly? Because if I'm listening to you, that's going to be the standard. And maybe you're new here, and I keep trying to explain this to folks, right? I've done this long enough. I figured this out a long time ago. I am only going to eat at the table you set, but you have to eat there too. You don't get a separate table. You lay it out there, you got to live by it. So which side are you on? Because if you're on the individual side, hey, welcome aboard. How long did it take you? 30, 40, 50 years to get over here on the right side of things? That's right, dum-dum. Each person is responsible for their own behavior. That's right. And if you are behaving culturally because that's what your people do, don't get mad when you get lumped up into your people. That's all. And I know this is something that people do not understand, but this goes for all people, especially if you're on the left, okay? I've done this long enough. I can literally lure you into my side by you arguing with me. I just literally lay out the breadcrumbs and you keep eating them. I keep throwing the chum at you and you keep coming. And then when I've got you trapped, it's easy. Because everything you believe in is based on emotion. Everything that you stand for has nothing to do with logic or reasoning. It has to do with your heart and how you feel. If your brain's not in it, you're not in it. If your heart is, you're not in it. Your heart will lead you astray. It always does. Always does. And I will exploit it. I love exploiting it. At the end of the day, I pat myself on the back. Every day. I almost break my arm doing it. No, don't worry. There's room. You can pat me too. Sorry, I know it sounds arrogant, but I don't care. I don't. So, thank you, Matt. So, that being said, if you could tell those little rabble-rousers to knock it off and stop coming to my wife's favorite mall, all right, and beating up your girlfriends in the middle of it on a Sunday when people are just trying to, buy some Tiffany, maybe some PacSun sweatpants, huh? Coming by to get their cell phones, maybe have some Chinese food. I hear they got Chinese food in there now. Maybe some Sbarros. The pizza's, oddly enough, it's really good there. Crazy. They've got the California pizza kitchen or something. I've only been to one in California, in actual California, for my birthday, of all places. But people just want to go to the mall. It's a nice experience. It's a nice mall. It is. It's one of the nicest ones around. All the rest of them have gone to hell. Why? Because of these animals. You can't sell anything to these people going there to meet up for fights. Oh, and by the way, I knew I had this right. There was and I made sure of it because I was like, is this serious? There's no way. But there was. Check this out. You guys know that a couple of years ago, was it last year, there was supposed to be a teen takeover at West Farms. These are the only times. This is the most recent. February 21st of 2026, 100 juveniles gathered out or inside the mall. One physical fight broke out between two of them. The Farmington and West Hart police responded at 6:27 p.m. and only two juveniles were taken into custody. That was covered by the Farmington West Hartford Patch, the CT Insider, Hartford Current, WFSB, TNH, Fox 61, and the Farmington Daily Voice. Then there was the March 30th parking garage stabbing. A group of mostly females went to the upper-level parking garage specifically for a fight. An 18-year-old and a 15-year-old. And the 15-year-old pulled out a pocket knife and stabbed the 18-year-old multiple times in the leg, while others recorded it on their phones. Who is reporting on this one? Covered by FSB, TNH, NBC Connecticut 61, Current, Insider, Patch, and this station. And in 2019, the day after Christmas mall fights, Yeah. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to know. Why would they ever tell you that? Cannabis is a serious problem here in the state, and there are 2 legislators who want to raise the potency of THC in cannabis in the state. Why? We'll get to the bottom of that. Plus, we've got more election news. Voting fraud is not widespread. Why do they keep using that term? I'm going to explain to you why, and why it's nonsense as well when we return. It's Reese on the Radio.
Last year, we had 295 trials where we've been offered a total of $90 million on all those cases. When the dust settled, we had recovered over $1.1 billion in verdicts and mid-trial settlements. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won a lot, $30 billion and counting. The best part of all those wins is that it helps you when you hire us. All those wins allow us to let the insurance company know we mean business. And believe me, they know who we are. If you've been injured, Google Morgan & Morgan results. You're not bragging if it's a fact. 3 million people tried to hire us last year alone. That happened for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com and let's get started this minute. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Herbie Fisher. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, lead to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that, if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 7 offices, including our new office in Bridgewater.
Paid for by government. Have you heard? The United States Mint has released a first-ever dual-date 1776 to 2026 American Eagle silver dollar in collector quality. Minted in 99.9% pure silver with the 1-year-only Liberty Bell 250th Special Privy to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Coin experts are calling this an amazing limited-time opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of the Silver Eagle. These limited-edition collector-quality Silver Eagles are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted at the iconic West Point Mint. Call now and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver dual-dated 1-year-only issue Silver Eagle. The first time in history this has happened, but with limited quantities you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7618. If you order now, you'll receive a free collector bonus of $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-888-7618 now to secure your new 2026 American Silver Eagle before they are gone.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
How did I do that? I'm sorry. It appears, Dateline, April 20th, 2026. GOP protest display of tiny Pakistani flag on Connecticut lawmaker's desk. A story written by Mark Paz talking about, indeed, Representative Khan having a small Palestinian flag on her desk, as many had American flags and don't tread on me flags. Let me say this. If you really want to get to the bottom of it and tell me when the next rally she's going to be, and I'll specifically ask her with the Palestinian flag, who is the political leader of the Pakistani people? The Palestinian people. Who are they? And, this is a Pakistani flag. I'm sorry, it was a Pakistani flag, not a Palestinian. I don't have really a problem about her having a Pakistani flag. If it's a Palestinian flag, that's an issue. But a Pakistani flag, you have to also ask her whether or not she believes in Sharia law. That's what I would ask. That's the first question I ask. What are your feelings on Sharia law? That's a great question. Do you believe in the U.S. Constitution or Sharia law? Do you believe that Sharia law should be replaced by the Constitution? How do you feel about Arab and Islamic studies in our school? She's a former school teacher. How do you feel about Islamic and Arab studies in our schools as opposed to Christian or Judeo-Christian values taught in school? These are all great questions. Perhaps I should ask her. Right? I mean, they'd be smart questions to ask considering she is a representative here in the state of Connecticut. If she believes in religious freedom, that's a great question to ask. Now the question is whether or not anybody in the state's got guts enough to ask her. And I guess it's going to happen. It's okay. I can be Thanos on this one. Got to leave it to me. You leave it to me. I'll ask. But it is a good question. I believe it's a question we should ask every lawmaker, every legislator in the state. The first question should be, hey, how do you feel about Islamic and Arab studies in our schools? Oh, I think it's a good thing. I think it's inclusive. Fine. Good. Can we match that with Judeo-Christian values in the school? Huh? And if somebody looks at you and says separation of church and state, you just go, you sure about that? Are you sure? And if they also look dumbfounded, you just say, you just agreed for Islamic studies. Do you not understand that? Or you just knee-jerking it here? Because I don't think you're dumb. I just don't think you understand the distinction here. Or the lack thereof. That's all. It's as simple as that. Where do you stand on that? So I hear all these people, and trust me, I see it all over Facebook and X. It was like, they're demanding this. It's simple. You get that out of the way by asking a simple question. Do you know what Islamic studies are? Are Islamic studies a study of the Islamic religion? Is it? Does religion have anything to do with Islamic studies? If they don't know, ask them why they're promoting it. So you're promoting something you don't understand, but you find important? Seriously. That's like promoting, I don't know, apricots, but not knowing its nutritional value. But all I know is that we need to have them. We have to put apricots in the diet. For what? Because people say. The experts say. What do they say? They say we need them. Why? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. That sounds like COVID. I don't want to get down that. I want to go down that avenue today. Let's get our first check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's here. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. This traffic report being brought to you by the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association. And if you're heading 91 northbound, look out for an accident now between exit 24 and 2526 on the Rocky Hill Weathersfield line. It's on the right shoulder. Just use caution. No real delay with it. Southbound 91's a little tight at 33 Jennings Road. Westbound 84 slowing in Hartford, or East Hartford rather, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound tied up 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. If you're heading into Middletown, 9 northbound delays Harbor Park to the Aricoti Bridge. 84 eastbound in Waterbury slowing approaching 17 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 tied up in Cheshire approaching 26 to 25A in Waterbury. Again, slowing from 23 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. If you are traveling southbound 95 New Haven, you're tied up from exit 48 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
They're back. When school starts, kids are everywhere, and they can come from anywhere. So stop for school buses, slow down, and put the phones down. School's in. Drive smart. A message from the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association.
WTIC weather.
Feeling a bit like fall over the next couple of days. Overnight, partly cloudy down to 56 degrees. Sunny to partly sunny tomorrow. A shower in 1 or 2 spots. The high temperature 79. Clear down to 59 degrees tomorrow night. Sunny to partly sunny, the high 82 on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, things will change. It'll get a little bit more humid with a few peaks of sun and a shower in the afternoon. The high temperature 81. Mostly cloudy, humid, a stray thunderstorm Friday, the high 82. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. A man is dead after Seymour police say he was struck by falling rocks while working at a quarry this morning. They got the call to the Haynes Quarry on Derby Avenue just after 10:30. The victim, a 41-year-old man from Wallingford, was not responsive when police and medics arrived. He was operating heavy machinery at the quarry's base when the rocks fell, according to police, and pronounced dead at the scene. Seymour Police, as well as the State Police and OSHA, are all involved in that investigation. A woman is dead, and Hartford police are looking for two suspects in what they say was some sort of altercation on Bond Street this morning. This is Police Lieutenant Aaron Boisfort.
Seen altercation in the street, a female victim, and two other individuals, a male and a female. As a result of that altercation, a fight took place. It became very physical. This time, the female was stabbed.
The victim, identified as 32-year-old Nicole Talata of no known address. Boisford says his detectives are processing evidence and calling through city street cameras in an attempt to locate the suspects. Series of secondary sanctions being unleashed by the Trump administration on those countries doing business with Iran. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent wouldn't name the nations, only that President Trump is spearheading talks with different countries. Bessent says those impacted know who they are.
We are following his calls up with calls from visits and calls from the State Department and from the U.S. Treasury, expecting them, or telling the leaders and the countries and the entities exactly what we expect and the timelines.
Connecticut Business and Industry Association says its members aren't that alarmed about the immediate impact of the 50% tariffs on Canada by the Trump administration, but Dustin Nord, the director of the CBIA Foundation, says they are concerned about long-term disruption to U.S.-Canadian trade.
When we ask them about how are tariffs impacting their businesses, they're continuing to be concerned in terms of impacting their ability to do business. So while these specific tariffs have not come up, the overall concern about tariffs is continuing to be a major issue for a majority of our manufacturers.
Canada, the state's largest international trade partner, Connecticut exported more than $2.1 billion in goods to Canada last year. Police in Ansonia are charging one of their own with disorderly conduct. 24-year-old officer Denise Ruiz is accused of disorderly conduct from an incident earlier this month. Warrant states that the officer got into a verbal dispute with family members and became physically combative after she spent the day on August 10th at a festival. The warrant says her parents had to pick her up after she was briefly hospitalized after a day of drinking. The mother of Hayden Panettiere is speaking out. Leslie Vogel tells ABC she's still processing the death of her daughter, the star of Heroes and Nashville, along with numerous other films. Vogel says she's also been criticized about her grief.
I would say to the haters out there, you don't have a right to tell me how I mourn the loss of my second child. That's my domain.
Panettiere had battled addiction and mental health issues. She died last week, days before her 37th birthday. Wall Street, the Dow up 139 points, NASDAQ down 200, S&P down 21. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution taxation firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-568-6533. 800-568-6533. 800-568-6533.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Reese is on the radio. Hey, hey. Here we go now. He's on the radio. Hey, hey. One time, hey. He's on the radio. Hey, hey. Give it to him now. He's on the radio. Hey, hey. Yo, we never finish 'cause the party don't stop. Hey. The way we consider the politics, we on top. Hey. We flip it like sandals, except we never flop. Hey. And when we drop, you know we gon' pop. Hey. Yeah. Reese is on the radio. Hey. Here we go now. Reese is on the radio. Hey. One time, come on. Reese is on the radio. Hey. Give it to him now. Reese is on the radio.
All right, first half done, second half underway of Reese on the radio. Stand by for that. We've got stupidest news, music news, the WNBA. And folks, I've got to tell you, why Mike may call me because of this. I think that the WNBA is actually doing a smart thing for itself. And I'm going to explain it. I have visual aid, comedy to boot, to make my point. Because never has this sport been more focused on. And I'm going to break it all down for you. Stand by for that. Also, cannabis in the state. There are two lawmakers who wish to raise the potency of the cannabis that's being sold in the state legally. Their reasons are alarming. And there's a considerable amount of red flags that are being called out. Craig Fishbein posted a video, I think yesterday, if not this morning, that I watched about it, because there's really going to be a problem with young people who smoke marijuana or who smoke cannabis or whatever it is that they get from these dispensaries, because there is a chronic vomiting disease that you can get from overusage. If you raise the potency, that risk goes through the roof. And the reasons for doing this don't even make any sense, but a lot of you are going to come up with your own ideas to why they may be doing this. But I have some of the reasons why, at least they claim that they're doing it, at least the two lawmakers who are doing it. Also, Rock the Vote, which is a segment of the show that we're going to be doing up until Election Day, talking about this nonsense of so-called non-widespread election fraud. And I've got another 3 cases of it today, so stand by for that. Let's get to some traffic on the 8s. Mark Christopher is back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now and you're on the southbound side of I-91, you got delays 33 down to 32 A and B. Westbound 84 slows approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound slowing as you merge with 84 West and East Hartford. 291 westbound is slow from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. Heading into Middletown, 9 northbound delays Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound Waterbury delays approaching 17 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 tied up in Cheshire approaching 26 up to exit 25 in Waterbury. Again, you've got delays from 22 up to the Mixmaster. If you're heading into Middletown, try again, take 3. Heading into New Haven, 95 southbound delays, 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
A couple of growing cumulus clouds out there, and we'll see 1 or 2 thunder showers, mainly east of the city late this afternoon, sometime between about 5 and 7 o'clock. Otherwise, periods of sun and clouds with a high of 81, partly cloudy overnight, the low temperature 56. There will be a shower in spots tomorrow afternoon, otherwise sunny to partly sunny with a high of 79. The fall preview overnight continues tomorrow night with a low of 59 degrees under a clear sky. Sunny to partly sunny on Wednesday, the high 82. A few peaks of sun on Thursday, but a shower can't be ruled out in the afternoon with a high of 81. It'll be rather humid, mostly cloudy on Friday with a stray thunderstorm up to 82, but mostly sunny, less humid on Saturday with a high of 81. Right now, 79 in Bristol, 77 in Waterbury, and 81 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
Each week, Attorney Allaire shares special practice advice and expert insights to help navigate the complexities of elder law.
Summer's here, and so are new beverages at McDonald's, like the Sprite Berry Blast Crafted Soda, topped with foam, or the Refresher with add-ons like Popping Boba.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Paid for by government. Have you heard? The United States Mint has released a first ever dual date 1776 to 2026 American Eagle silver dollar in collector quality. Minted in 99.9% pure silver with a 1 year only Liberty Bell 250th special privy to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Coin experts are calling this an amazing limited time opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of the Silver Eagle. These limited edition collector quality Silver Eagles are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted at the iconic West Point Mint. Call now and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver dual dated 1 year only issue Silver Eagle. The first time in history this has happened, but with limited quantities you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7618. If you order now, you'll receive a free collector bonus of $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-888-7618 now to secure your new 2026 American Silver Eagle before they are gone.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. Special guest calling on the line here, none other than our good friend Ruddy, Lieutenant James Rutowski, the Hartford Police Union president, is on the line. How you doing, Ruddy?
Outstanding, Reese. How are you doing?
I'm trying my best, man. I haven't talked to you in such a while, but I know you've been busy. It has been a crazy couple of weeks with the police department, of course, with officers shot who are doing well. I mean, got out of the hospital, in record time? We're talking one guy, same day, another one a day later.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible, Reese.
How are those gentlemen?
The two gentlemen, one Rocky Hill officer, one Hartford officer, and then Alex Diaz's partner, Jocelyn Andino. She was involved in it, but fortunately she was actually not hit.
Right. Was she the officer who took down the suspect?
Yes.
Yeah, I did hear that. Somebody mentioned it to me yesterday. He said it was the female officer who got the kill shot. And I hate to be so blunt about it, but again, this person was trying to kill cops, so I have no problems referring to it as such.
No, I don't, and I misspoke. She originally tackled him outside when he started to flee over in Rocky Hill.
Right.
And so I don't know which officer, and I don't think they were able to determine which one of them was actually the officers or what officer was fatal.
Right. Okay. Well, I think a serious question to ask about all of this is, one, why have we not heard anything about this perpetrator, and why is that being so kept under wraps? Is there a reason for that?
Not that I know of. I think they're just waiting for the 96-hour window from the Inspector General before they release that information. I think we're deferring to their investigation.
Okay. All right. It's usually kind of odd. Am I over my skis on this one, or is that usually the case? And is it because we have a new standard of SOP in Hartford that there's this sort of inspector general that every police officer involved shooting has to go through this?
No, it's any shooting in the state of Connecticut.
Okay.
Their office is responsible for any officer involved shooting.
Okay. Well, was that the case with what was it, Mr. Evard? What was his? Goodness gracious, why am I forgetting? Before the shooting of Stevie Jones, I can't remember Evard's last name. I want to say
Everett Walker. Yes.
Yeah, Everett Walker.
The Inspector General is currently investigating that.
Okay, yes, but I do not remember his name or waiting for that victim's name 3 days later. I mean, how many hours did you say?
96.
96. I don't remember it being that long. But anyway, nonetheless, that's fine. You and I were having a discussion off the air. You were texting me about this. When I asked the question, should Connecticut, and in your case, Hartford, feel safe because of what the state is putting out as a crime statistic versus what's really not being reported out there? Do you see that there's a conflict between what's being put on paper that people are reporting on versus, on the ground with police officers each day?
Think of this. If we have, the whole city is pretty much wired with the shot spotter equipment. So anytime gunshots or something similar to gunshot goes off, there's a notification.
Right.
90% of the notifications from ShotSpotter do not have a complainant calling in.
Okay.
So that what the point of that is, there's gunshots that people hear that go consistently unreported. Only 10% of them, on average, get called in. So how many crimes do you actually think are being reported if something like gunfire isn't being called in by the average citizen?
Well, how about this? I would go one step further. If ShotSpotter is keeping a record of every shot that's being fired, that should be a part of the crime statistic, no?
We track it. I do not believe that it is published.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not included in that because for these crime stats to be put out, they obviously are talking about reported crimes. As you said, these are actual reported crimes that end up on that database, where ShotSpot is not, because that would be, I mean, if you got a shot ringing out in the street, you know that there's a crime being committed when that happens. That should make it somewhere on this list, no?
It should. You figure there's an unlawful discharge of a firearm that should be recorded and investigated. I mean, we do investigate every ShotSpotter activation.
Right.
But we don't have any, again, the majority of those go without a citizen complaint. So when you say that, let's look at crime stats. Well, how about you go out into the community and ask the people how safe they feel? We just had a homicide this morning on Bond Street.
We sure did. Yeah, it was just, John Silva was just reporting on it.
Right. So I look at that and go, why don't you walk down Bond Street and ask those people how safe they feel? Or the residents that are, up on Wethersfield Avenue from the mass shooting that we had, 2 Fridays ago.
Yeah. And this is, again, the reason why I wrote my Substack this week was generally about that. It's like, I don't think that people on the ground are seeing the same stats that are being put in the newspapers or being touted by the governor or anyone else for that matter, that in those cities, be it Waterbury, New Haven, Hartford proper, I don't think any of those people would say that those things are matching it. I'll go one step further with you, Ruddy. We don't have a lot of reporting of illegals who commit crimes against other illegals or immigrants in the city or elsewhere. Those things don't make the crime stats either. Is there a disconnect there?
I don't know how that isn't reported. It's not my circle of competency, Reese.
Okay.
But I think it still goes back to what I was saying earlier. Are they actually reporting it? If you are an illegal immigrant in this city, are you calling the police? Are you looking for our services? Or you're like, nah, something, I got robbed, but I'm not really interested in talking to the police because I don't know if I'm going to be deported or how that works.
That's right.
Because you and I have an idea of how the immigration system is going to work, but they might not, and they might be scared to call us.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I know that the state promotes the Trust Act, in essence saying the reason why we have this in place is so if people in immigrant communities who may not have legal status here in the country has a crime committed on them, that they are safe, that they can report it to the authorities. My question to that has always been, okay, where are the statistics that say that the illegals are indeed using the police officers in that capacity to report on crimes that are happening to them? Because I feel like those crimes that are happening to them, be they trafficking, prostitution, as you said, burglaries, home invasions, those things cannot be reported because usually they're happening because either they're involved in said trafficking, and others they're a victim of it, so they can't report on it. Secondly, the person who is perpetrating that crime on them is a member of a gang or a cartel, so they know what happens if those things are reported on. I have no stats to back that up.
No, and I don't know. I mean, I know that I've been in the community and I've talked to the people in the community, and there are those crimes that go unreported because they are in that bracket. We want to protect illegal immigrants. Okay, I understand. But are you truly protecting them, or are you making their quality of life worse?
Right. I get 100%, because in shielding the immigrant or the illegal for that matter by saying you don't have to worry about your legal status being in question, you can contact the police, and they don't, also gives kind of safe haven or safe harbor to illegals who are committing crimes against those groups, because they live in a completely different sort of sphere, right? It's a lawless sphere because whatever they're going through is personal, right? Whether it be the cartel or the gang member, their relationship with the other illegal who in essence is at their behest, right? Those communities really sit in their own little world.
They really do. When you look at that and go, even in our own communities where people are residents of the city, and you look at that and go, they don't report it. So now you have someone who's a criminal leveraging somebody not to pick up the phone, be going, okay, well, I'm going to call the federal government on you. You can make a complaint on me. Tell me, you know, when I both know that if say I was a criminal and I wanted an illegal alien not to make a complaint against me, I would just say, hey, go ahead, call the police. And you know what? I'm going to call the federal government on you.
That's right.
That is the reality that these communities go through day in and day out.
That's such a good point.
Get up there and pontificate about protecting them, and you're not. You're making their quality of life in the community worse because those crimes are not being dealt with. It's an ongoing issue.
It's such an important point. I hadn't even thought of that. That is so right. That these people, in essence, govern themselves, but under threat, right? It doesn't matter whether or not it's a criminal alien who has probably the most kind-hearted, gentle illegal in the country. He can't report a crime because if he does, that criminal could turn around and say, yeah, report on me for robbing you, report on me for trafficking you or for labor trafficking you. All I have to do to put an end to this is make a call to the federal government, and you're gone too.
Exactly. And think of this. So you're an illegal immigrant. You owe 30 grand to whatever drug lord, got you over the border. And now you have to pay that back. And now there's a crime committed against you. You have someone leveraging you not to call the police because you have a debt. And how are you supposed to go back to Mexico, Brazil, or whatever country you came from and earn $30,000 of United States money? I think in Brazil, it's 6-1 or 5-1
pretty
right
much,
now.
yeah.
So you're looking at $180,000 out. Like, why do you think that they're going to put themselves in the crosshairs of that?
No.
To report a crime? Absolutely not.
Yeah, it is incredible. Ruddy, I thank you, and I appreciate you always being there whenever I need you to call up to sort of give a breakdown of all of this. I mean, this is your wheelhouse, and it really gives us, it shines a light on so much that we don't know that you guys have to deal with usually. And if I could, in fact, that just on the subject, to tug your ear, you've been in this profession long enough. Do you find yourself being called upon by those with illegal status in the state or in Hartford asking for help, or is that like minimal at best?
It's minimal, and I'm fortunate to have my wife who can kind of help me navigate that when people, through the grapevine make a complaint, and I can talk to them, have my wife help. and navigate them to the proper resources so they're not scared to make that complaint. There's some awful crimes that get committed that people will not step forward to, and Marceline has helped us get through that.
Yeah.
She's an integral part of that.
Isn't that crazy that in order for them to talk, they have to have a liaison to the police, somebody they can trust, so they can sort of work through them to get to the police to actually, they claim that they're making it available for these illegals to come to the police, but they don't even trust that idea.
And they don't. And that they trust my wife.
Yeah.
So there's that. And there's still apprehension, even with the trust that they have with her.
Yeah, because they're wondering what's going to happen down the road and whether or not they're going to be protected, because their status in the United States is of utmost importance. And once that sort of lens gets focused on them, they are living in even more fear. I'm sorry, I mean, it just has to be that way. But I'm looking at it from the perspective of said illegal. If staying in the country is paramount, they will go through anything to protect that, even have crimes committed against them.
Reese, and that's the awful thing when we say we want to be a sanctuary city. I understand. But what really are we doing to make it better? What are we doing for their quality of life? Are we now making our community safer? Or are we not making, with unreported crimes and people being leveraged not to call the police? That's not a recipe for success.
No, not at all. And not only that, it puts the rest of the community in danger as well.
Oh.
So,
and it's what it's. Part of me, and I'm just going to pontificate for a minute here. I look at our legislators that have consistently been targeting us, like the last ridiculous thing about 250 feet within a polling station.
Right.
You guys are worried about the police being 250 feet within a polling station. Why don't you take some of that energy and make sure that the criminals that are running around, hurting our communities, shooting people in our communities, actually stay in jail? I am telling you, when this guy's name comes out and the extensive criminal history that he has or had, you're going to go, why was he not in jail? And that question needs to be turned around and asked to the governor and asked to William Tong and our legislators. Why have you spent time and energy targeting the people that are protecting the community with ridiculous laws, but yet the criminals have zero to no accountability and are going out there terrorizing the communities like you're trying to keep safe from the police?
So
the ironic legislative end of this is crazy, Reese.
Let me say this before I let you go. Are you giving me a little window into what we're going to learn about this suspect who's responsible for these officers getting shot? Are we going to see something along the lines that you just described?
Absolutely.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. We wait. Thank you, James Rotowski, president of the Hartford Police Union. As always, sir, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for calling the show.
Thanks. You have a great day.
You got it, man. You too. There you have it. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, we'll keep a close eye out for who this suspect is and the details. So, we know probably the mainstream media is not going to cover it. So I guess we have to cover it here. We'll get those details in due course. We'll talk to you in a bit. Let's get another check of weather and traffic on the 8s. Mark Christopher is back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
WTIC weather.
Mambo Genesis coming through here. No, I do traffic, and if you're heading into Hartford right now, overall, we are doing pretty well. If you're traveling on the southbound side of 91, a little slow at 33 Jennings Road. On the westbound side of 84, you got delays just after 56 Governor Street out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound slowing, 46 Dissonant Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound's a little tight as you merge with 84 west in East Hartford. 291 westbound slowing exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. 9 northbound's tight Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. Heading into Waterbury, 84 eastbound, you got some slow traffic as you move from 18 up to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 slowing 25A in Waterbury up to the Mixmaster. Northbound on Route 8, look out for an accident as you move Seymour into Beacon Falls between exit 18 and 21, and 95 South New Haven slowing from 46 down to exit 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We've got a partly cloudy sky on tap overnight. Very comfortable, feeling a little bit fall-like with a low temperature of 56. Sunny to partly sunny tomorrow. There will be a shower in the area during the afternoon. The high temperature up to 79. Mainly clear, very comfortable again tomorrow night, down to 59 degrees. On Wednesday, sunny to partly sunny. The high temperature up to 82. Thursday, a few peaks of sun. A shower can't be ruled out in the afternoon. Better opportunity for showers overnight Thursday night, the high temperature 81. It'll be mostly cloudy and humid on Friday with a thunderstorm here and there, the high temperature 82, but mostly sunny, less humid on Saturday, the high 81. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
Hey, what's up, guys? Reese on the radio here live in Hartford. Don't forget to check us out every weekday, 2 to 6 p.m. on the home of Reese on the radio, NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
And now, a WTIC news update.
John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. A third case of measles has been reported in Connecticut, according to the Department of Public Health. The case involves an adult from Hartford County who recently traveled abroad. That person was admitted to the hospital with a high fever and a rash. There have been nearly 2,800 cases of measles reported in the U.S. so far. That's the most since 1991. Police in Hartford investigating a fatal stabbing. Officers are dispatched to Bond Street on a report of a verbal altercation this morning that became physical. A woman identified as 32-year-old Nicole Tolado was found stabbed. Officers are looking for suspects, a man and a woman, in that case. Suspect in the fatal stabbing Saturday of a woman in Rocky Hill has been apprehended in upstate New York. Michael Ranger will be charged with murder and violating a protective order. The victim was found at the Lexington Estates complex on Saturday night. Police say the incident was domestic in nature. Waterbury police say a man was killed in a dirt bike crash on Sunday in the city. 21-year-old Jose Eduardo was from Carmel, New York. Officers say his dirt bike hit a concrete wall near railroad tracks on Yale Street. U.S. is through fooling around with Iran. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has announced that what is being dubbed an economic D-Day for those against the regime.
Teams from Treasury, State, and the U.S. military are now meeting with their global counterparts to tell them that the United States expects action. Every country has a defined timeline to shut down activities we have identified. If they do not take action, we will do so unilaterally.
U.S. is threatening sanctions on those countries that curry favor to Tehran and refuse to cut economic ties. And the U.S. and Canada have fallen deeper into a trade war. New tariffs are expected to raise prices for products in both countries, each side blaming the other for the collapse of the negotiations in Washington late Friday. On Wall Street, the Dow finished up 140 points today. The Nasdaq gained 200 and the S&P was up 21. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Paid for by government. Have you heard? The United States Mint has released the first ever dual date 1776 to 2026 American Eagle silver dollar in collector quality. Minted in 99.9% pure silver with a 1 year only Liberty Bell 250th special privy to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Coin experts are calling this an amazing limited time opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of the Silver Eagle. These limited edition collector quality Silver Eagles are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins cards minted at the iconic West Point Mint. Call now and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver dual-dated 1-year-only issue Silver Eagle. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7618. If you order now, you'll receive a free collector bonus of $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-888-7618 now to secure your new 2026 American Silver Eagle before they are gone.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Sorry, I got all this paperwork sitting over here, and I was caught up in something that I was trying to make sure that I had in my possession, and I do not have it here because I moved so much stuff around. That's my fault. Oh, that just happens. It happens all the time. When you're not, am I going to have to admit that I need an assistant? Is that what hey, Linda McMahon's on Fox. Yeah, here it is. I got this story. I knew I had it in mind. So it looks like some people are in the chat room who are telling me that they are about to part ways with me on this topic. I want to make this abundantly clear. I have a problem with recreational use of marijuana. Okay? I always have. When I was 19, there was no way. All of my friends were smoking weed, and I was like, this does nothing for me. If anything, it annoys me. It does. Something that made me sleepy. I'm a high-energy guy. The last thing I want is a suppressant. It's like, oh, marijuana makes you mellow out. Me? Hell no. I mean, Energizer Bunny. Slow down. For whom? So I just wasn't going to do it. So I fell out of favor with marijuana very early on. My friends just thought it was cool, and I just didn't. Secondly, I hate the smell. I didn't want to smell like that. I didn't want it on my clothes at all. I didn't want, and it's true. A lot of people make fun of me. It's like, oh, you can do it with cigarette smoke on your clothes, but not marijuana smoke. And I'm just like, yeah, cigarettes are acceptable. But I don't smoke anymore. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I understood the hypocrisy, if you want to call it that, or the selective behavior, of course, without a doubt. But this is my opinion. Nothing against you guys who smoke it, and especially for those of you who need it. Now, if you notice, I didn't say anything about medicinal purposes. I have no issue with people who have to smoke marijuana or take Marinol or anything for that matter. Vaping, whatever, THC, do your thing. This is not a condemnation, just so you're clear. This is about you-know-who, okay? Those folks. The ones who just smoke because, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you why they smoke. They couldn't tell you why. I just like the way it makes me feel. Snore. But there is a thing happening with THC limits, or the raising of THC limits. That is an issue. Because there are repercussions. There's illnesses associated with people who smoke marijuana too much. That's what I want to talk about. But if you want to have that argument with you, that's fine. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. I'll tell you the story, and then you assess afterwards. But let's get the traffic on the 8s. Mark Christopher is back, and he is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center within a second or two. I'm sure he's giving traffic all over. But he's back. So stand by. We'll talk about that and get on the phones at 860-522-WTIC. Mark Christopher in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. This traffic report being brought to you by the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. And if you're making your way into Hartford right now, things are looking pretty good. Nothing major. 84 westbound's a little tight up. East Hartford approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound slowing 46 Sisson Avenue into the downtown tunnel. 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32 A and B. 291 westbound slowing exit 2 in South Windsor up to the Bissell Bridge. 2 westbound tied up. 1D up to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. Both sides of 9 heavy approaching the Aragoni Bridge. 91 southbound slowing approaching exit 19 in Meriden. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing 17 up to the Mixmaster. And if you're traveling westbound 84, a little tight 26 to 25A. And again from 22 up to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Look out for an accident. Route 8 northbound as you move Seymour into Beacon Falls. 8 northbound between exit 18 and 21 and heavy delays behind that. 95 southbound is slowing 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Cannabis and driving don't mix. Even if you feel okay to get behind the wheel, if you choose to use, plan ahead, order a ride, call a sober friend, or only consume when you know you won't be driving. Keep everyone safe. Learn more at beinthenowct.org.
WTIC weather.
We squeeze out a 5 or 10 minute shower, mainly east of the city here late this afternoon. Otherwise, periods of sun and clouds with a high temperature of 81. Partly cloudy down to 56 overnight, so a nice fall preview ahead. Tomorrow, a shower around in the area. Those will be very far and few between. Otherwise, sunny to partly sunny with a high of 79. Mainly clear down to 59 tomorrow night. Sunny to partly sunny on Wednesday, the high temperature 82. On Thursday, there will be a thunderstorm in the afternoon. It'll be rather humid with a high of 81. A stray thunderstorm on Friday, mostly cloudy and humid, the high temperature 82. But then on Saturday, behind a cold front, mostly sunny, less humid, the high 81 degrees. Right now, 79 in Willimantic, 81 in Granby, and 81 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law. Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Gear up this fall with the new All-Pro battery by Steel. Tackle any task with 60% more peak power. Exclusively available only at your local Steel dealer. 60% peak power comparison between AP300PC and AP300S.
Hi, this is Brian Kilmeade from Fox & Friends. Have you checked out my radio show, The Brian Kilmeade Show? Listen weekdays at 9 a.m. on News Talk 1080. We're talking about the issues that matter most to you. We're giving you the breaking news, talking to the newsmakers you want to hear from. Where does President Trump take the country? Where do the Democrats go from here? We are covering all this in great depth and so much more. The Brian Kilmeade Show, weekdays, 9 a.m. on News Talk 1080. Listen to your radio, smart speaker, or on the free Odyssey app.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth, Certified Financial Planner from Money Wisdom. There are over 500 ways you can take Social Security. It's a little complicated, so how confident are you that you'll get the most out of your benefits? Explore your filing options by texting Security to 800-705-1232 to get your free Social Security Simplified Guide. That's Security to 800-705-1232.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Back to school season is here, and Dollar General has everything you need to start the school year strong. Don't forget to grab a pair of bright yellow sunglasses from the Yellow Glasses Project for just $2. Every purchase makes a difference, with 100% of proceeds helping support teachers, classrooms, and nonprofit organizations working to improve reading and literacy skills across the country. Stop by Dollar General today and shine bright with the Yellow Glasses Project, available now at Dollar General. The Yellow Glasses Project is a program of the Dollar General Literacy Foundation.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I am grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio. Here's a story. State Representative Craig Fishbein is warning that Connecticut will see more cases of what's called cannabinoid hyperemesis. I have to say that word 1,000 times before I get it right. Cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, after Democrats moved this session to ease THC potency limits on cannabis products. cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome, or CHS, we'll just call it that, is a condition tied to frequent high-potency cannabis use. Patients suffer severe repeated vomiting, intense abdominal pain, and often get temporary relief only from hot showers or baths. The only reliable cure is stopping cannabis use entirely. National data shows CHS emergency visits have climbed sharply in recent years as THC levels in product rose and more states have legalized it. Older cannabis averaged, sorry, I have to fix my thing here. In 2026 session, lawmakers advanced a bill that initially eliminated the state's 35% THC cap on cannabis flower and the 70% cap on concentrates. After pushback, the flower cap was restored to 35%. The concentrate cap was not. Higher THC beverages were also expanded. Those changes take effect around October 1st. Fishbein notes that cannabis remains a controlled substance under federal law. Unlike alcohol, he urges that removing the weakening potency limits will drive more high THC products into the market and more CHS cases into emergency rooms. Now, I went to go look up why in the hell would they want to do this? So I'm sorry. Again, because I just got a message from someone, and I don't want to reveal your name because that's your personal business. But one of the scallywags said, Reese, this is where I depart because I need the higher potency because of pain. Totally get it. Again, this is really not about you. People who do not use cannabis or THC recreationally are not the people I'm talking about. Those who use it for medicinal reasons, it has nothing to do with that. Or at least I'm not talking about you. So according to the information I have, the push came primarily from Representative Roland Lamar of New Haven, House Chairman of the General Law Committee, and House Majority Leader Jason Rojas of East Hartford. The bill, HB 5350, Public Act 26-8, was raised by the Democrat-controlled General Law Committee. The official reasons that they gave for this are interesting. They want to shift from the ban, shift the illegal to the legal. By allowing the products people want, higher THC, flower, and concentrate, the legal market would pull more customers away from the unregulated street and smoke shop products. Natural plant limits and watering down argument. Lamar claimed that cannabis plants have biological limits on how high THC can naturally go. He said artificial caps force producers to dilute product with untested additive, which he argued could be more dangerous than simply allowing higher natural potency. Removing the caps would let the regulated market sell what consumers already demand. And now to the important part, the demand. Lamar repeatedly argued that Connecticut businesses were at a severe disadvantage compared to Massachusetts, New York, and Rhode Island. Those states allow higher potency products and have lower prices and taxes. Connecticut residents were crossing the border to buy stronger flower and concentrates, which means lost sales for Connecticut dispensaries and lost tax revenue for the state. Now, obviously, most people would go to, well, that sounds like some people have some stake in this. Well, let me set your mind at ease. Rojas nor Lamar have any stake known, at least known, in any cannabis organizations or companies. That's known. I looked. If something else comes up, I'll let you know. However, there are some who do. There are some. And Democrat Representative Juan Candelara, he did take a paid position with a cannabis company called The Goods THC. And, of course, he faced conflict of interest questions this year. And Lamar publicly defended the idea that legislators can have outside industry experience as long as they are not enriching themselves on specific votes. That episode is separate from what Lamar and Rojas are doing. Now, again, if there was a medical benefit, they should have mentioned that as the reason to raise it. No, it's for money. It's for revenue. Why is that a problem? I'll tell you why. Is because cannabis sales in the state are a mixed bag here. Everybody keeps bragging about how much money it's bringing in, but they're also complaining about how well the industry isn't doing. It has not solved a lot of the problems that they said it was supposed to solve. We also know that there's a hell of a lot of fraud going on in the industry. People who are claiming that they're giving licenses to, those who have been affected by the war on drugs, especially in Connecticut. We found out that there's a proxy nonsense issue going on here, where they're allegedly giving these licenses to African Americans, while those African Americans are literally just a front for white owners. Yeah. That has been talked about ad nauseum. Have there been any real reporting on it? No. Weird, though. But everybody seems to know about it. Everybody seems to know, but there's no reporting on it anywhere. And it's happening in plain sight. It is. Plain sight. Every published report I look up about cannabis barely even mentions it. That there are people who are gaming the system. That the money or the disbursement of these contracts have not actually delivered the things that they said they were doing it for. Again, this was supposed to remedy a war on drugs policy that was, in essence, their view, used against African Americans and minority communities. But that's not panning out at all. Matt says, but they get tons of campaign donations from lobbyists in Connecticut, especially Adam Wood and the Connecticut Cannabis Association, allegedly. Watch the state bring back a tax on THC. The higher the THC, yes, then the higher the tax. That's the way it was. Yeah, that's always going to be the case. That's always going to be the case. In my opinion, the skunk smell makes me nauseous. When someone on the corner can smoke a joint, but not hold a can of beer, sometimes is wrong. Why do I have to suffer or put up with that smell when I'm walking? Maybe we spawn it. You and me feel the same way. We do. Sometimes I kind of have to tell myself, all right, stop complaining. It's annoying. But I think, look, Spawn, I really feel you on this one. I think you and I are right on this one. I hate everywhere I go. It's just everywhere. I'm driving in my car, and I will drive through a cloud of this smoke when I'm driving. And I'm trying to figure out, how can you be smoking that much weed that I can literally drive through it? Like how is it on the highway? It smells like I can drive on 84 and go through a cloud of marijuana smoke or marijuana smell as if I had walked into a room of people smoking. That's how, cumbersome it is. It's astonishing to me because I'm like, has it gotten stronger? Absolutely annoying. It really does drive me nuts. Who is it? Does that say Eli? I can't see who that is. Let's see who it is. Who is this on line 2?
Eli.
Oh, it is Eli. Okay, I thought I was reading that wrong. How are you, Eli?
I'm good, and you? I just want to give you a little pointer. There's a company called Curaleaf. Their history started by CEO or EEO and the money that he got was allegedly from mobsters. And they were investigated in Mass and in Connecticut, and they still got their license.
Really?
And they're one of the biggest companies in the world.
And they have a cannabis, do they have a cannabis license here in the state?
Yeah, here in the state, in Mass, a lot of states. If you do your homework on that.
Okay, well, here's my question, Eli, because I was mentioning this a little bit, I'm sure, because you were on hold, you heard this. Is this one of these organizations that do the whole sort of, let's just say, parlaying through minority communities in order to get the licensing? Are you alleging that in some way?
I would say there is some involvement with that allegation.
Okay,
yes.
because I've heard that before. That's the reason why I'm asking you. If this is the same organization, I've heard this claim be made before, that there are a lot of these companies, and again, they're the ones who they say have a bulk of the contracts in the state, that they are, in essence, using this sort of bait and switch with the legislature, who are giving these contracts to minority people, and they're putting them up, or these organizations are putting African Americans up as fronts.
These legislators are just as crooked as the rest of them. All they do is take sidekick money, they sell their soul and look the other way. And I'm going to tell you another little secret of the industry. They're supposed to be regulated by the state, right?
That's right.
These foods, when they plant their seeds, they get them from other states. They don't regenerate new seeds.
Really?
It's a dirty industry. They don't even import on the DL from other states their inventory. That's how dirty it is.
Yeah, now there's no way to regulate that kind of interstate commerce, because that has to be regulated.
If they're whistleblowers, they'll give out the whistleblower's name,
right?
And then they try to blackball them and make their life miserable. And the state is an active participant in blackballing people.
Yeah, you know, let me tell you something, Eli. I said this back in 2022 when I first joined WTIC. Everything I read about the cannabis industry here in Connecticut, everything sounded dirty and shady. Especially the I want to say the fervor of which they were pushing it here in the state, the legislators. They just wanted every part of it, and they wanted every part of this to be passed, or to get this industry underway in the state. That kind of gives you pause. It was like, wow, why are they putting so much energy into this? And there was nothing to do. It was almost the way that Lamont was pushing the green energy thing and the electric car thing. Remember that thing he was so gung-ho about? It was like nothing would deter him. It was the same case with cannabis. And I was like, something is eerie about that.
Well, it did start with honest, good intentions in the medical industry.
Right.
But when they figured out that the profit margin in retail, and they can charge top dollar, and they said, why shouldn't we? And the other thing I will admit, is they did lose, and they are losing money to the black market.
Yeah, of course.
I'd rather buy anyway because it's cheaper. And then Mass and New York are a big threat to Connecticut's industry. That is true.
Let me ask you this, because this was something I had a discussion. I did a roundtable with John Bolton, with a couple of other people from Able Child, but I was also there with Jonathan DeBarros and D.M. Livingston, both of which are very familiar in Waterbury. And during that roundtable, they talked about those smoke shops that are selling synthetics and things like that. But the biggest problem that's happening inside those stores is that apparently there is a huge fentanyl presence in those places. Do you know anything about that?
No, but I wouldn't doubt it. That's the problem with the industry, the dirty industry. That you don't know what you're getting. Back in the day, we used to get them from the neighborhood, and it was decent, you know. But now you can't even. I don't run the risk of buying unless I know who the person is, because we don't know what it's laced with.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. Is that the overdose issue in some of those communities, Bristol and Waterbury, has a lot to do with these smoke shops. You know, this is what DM and Jonathan DeBarros were talking about, saying that nobody knows what these folks are putting in there, and it's so unregulated. Everybody knows it's happening, but they don't shut it down.
Well, that's the opposite of that, is because these big companies charge ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah. They also say that they pop. They also say that they pop up anywhere and everywhere at the drop of a hat. Whenever one closes down, another one pops up a block away.
Well, I also want to say this, that some of these people, I hate to say it, are not really, they have green cards and they're just...
Yeah. Don't even get me started.
To make a buck at the American expense, and that's another problem.
Eli, I got a hard break to go to, man, but thank you for the call. I appreciate you, sir.
You have a good day.
You got it. You too. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher is back. Damn, that break went fast. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, you're on the southbound side of I-91. Look for delays 33 down to 32A and B. Northbound 91's okay. Westbound 84 is a little tight approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound's a little tight. 46 Island Avenue to the Bulkley Bridge. 291 westbound slowing from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. Heading into Middletown, 9 northbound delays Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing 18 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 tight 26 to 25A in Waterbury. Again, 22 to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. If you are heading southbound on the Parkway, look for delays in Wallingford 61 to 58B. Same story in Wallingford northbound Parkway from 58B up to 61. Both sides of the highway dealing with road work there. 95 southbound New Haven slowing 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We've got a partly cloudy sky on tap overnight. Very comfortable, feeling a little bit fall-like with a low temperature of 56. Sunny to partly sunny tomorrow. There will be a shower in the area during the afternoon. The high temperature up to 79. Mainly clear, very comfortable again tomorrow night down to 59 degrees. On Wednesday, sunny to partly sunny. The high temperature up to 82. Thursday, a few peaks of sun. A shower can't be ruled out in the afternoon. Better opportunity for showers overnight Thursday night, the high temperature 81. It'll be mostly cloudy and humid on Friday with a thunderstorm here and there, the high temperature 82, but mostly sunny, less humid on Saturday, the high 81. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
5 o'clock Hartford temperature 79 degrees. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Police in Hartford are investigating a fatal stabbing. Officers were dispatched to Bond Street on a report of a verbal altercation that became physical early this morning. Woman identified as 32-year-old Nicole Talado was found stabbed. Lieutenant Aaron Boisfort says it's an extensive crime scene.
I don't want to get into the physical evidence, but there's plenty of it behind me. So all that's going to be processed. Crime scene division's here. They're going to be taking the lead on that. Major crimes is here. We're going to be doing our thing. And again, it's early investigation.
Under arrest, 47-year-old Victor Rivera of Hartford. He's being held on a $2.5 million bond on the murder charge. Man is dead after Seymour police say he was struck by falling rocks while working at a quarry this morning. Officers got the call, the Haynes Quarry at 600 Derby Avenue, just after 10:30. The victim, a 41-year-old man from Wallingford, was not responsive, had serious injuries when police and medics arrived on scene. Investigators say he was operating heavy machinery at the quarry's base when the rocks fell from a cliff and struck the victim. He was pronounced dead at the scene. In addition to Seymour Police, State Police, and OSHA are investigating. Canada is Connecticut's biggest international trade partner. An industry group says businesses around the state are more concerned about a long-term conflict with Canada than they are about the short-term impact of the latest Trump tariffs.
Plywood and booze from Canada are among the products being slapped with a 50% tariff to be paid ultimately by Connecticut taxpayers.
My estimate is this impacting another $150 million or so of goods.
Dustin Nord is the director of the Foundation for Economic Growth at the Connecticut Business and Industry Association. He says members aren't lighting up the phone lines yet, but they're likely to worry more if the trade standoff gets worse.
The specific concern is about what does this mean for the future, not necessarily what do these specific tariffs mean for their businesses.
Connecticut imported $5.7 billion in goods from Canada last year and exported $2.1 billion in goods to Canada. Dave Maker, WTIC 1080.
U.S. says it plans to slap secondary sanctions on those countries doing business with Iran. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent.
Let there be no ambiguity as to the position of the United States. An economic engagement of any kind with this murderous regime will expose those responsible to the full reach of American power.
Bessent didn't give a deadline for sanctions to begin. Vice President Vance is in Maine today, about 70 days before the midterms. A trade war is brewing again between the U.S. and Canada, with the U.S. slapping those 50% tariffs on goods there. Canada says it's going to retaliate, and Vance says the Canadians aren't negotiating in good faith.
I frankly thought we had a deal. I think that we should have a deal,
But I think that we need to send a message loud and clear to the Prime Minister of Canada. Stop taking advantage of the people of Maine. Stop taking advantage of America. It's over. We expect fairness in our trade policy.
Canada Prime Minister Mark Carney says the U.S. is a bully and it will only hurt states along the border. Carney says they'll go elsewhere for trade. There's still several weeks of summer left, but the head of SEMA, the Connecticut Energy Marketers Association, says homeowners would be wise to look into how best to save some money on home heating this winter. Oil price volatility has become the norm the longer the war in Iran drags on. SEMA President Chris Herb says some simple maintenance can go a long way.
Right now, this is the time of the year that you can have a licensed HVAC technician come in and do a clean, test, and tune. That will, in some cases, save up to almost 10%. So that is a low-cost way to lower the amount of fuel that you'll use in the coming winter.
He also says consumers can work with their local oil delivery service to perhaps lock in at a set rate for heating oil for the winter. Wall Street, the Dow finished up 140 points today. NASDAQ lost 200. S&P finished down 21. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, summertime is here, and that means vacations, summer barbecues, outdoor parties, camping, beaches, and so much more. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And if you're like many men, you may not be feeling like yourself this summer. Perhaps your energy is low and you aren't sleeping well. Maybe your workouts aren't as good as they used to be. Maybe even your sex drive is off. And if what I'm describing is you, it's likely you're suffering with low testosterone. But low T doesn't have to affect you anymore. Just call Northeast Men's Health, get treated, and see how it changes your life. If you're like most men, you'll feel so much better. Deeper sleep, improved vitality and clarity, greater strength and energy, and an improved sex drive as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T test and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 7 offices, including our new office in Bridgewater. Northeast Men's Health, a Prometic restorative health practice.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, in a minute, we'll talk about the WNBA and something interesting I found about it. You may have heard about Cantor Freedom, Enes Kanter Freedom, and the melee that happened over the weekend. We'll talk about that a little bit. He's actually spoken up about that altercation at the game this weekend. But let's get to some music news. News. Andrea Kisser, the lead guitarist of Sepultura, turns 58 today. John Bush, the vocalist for Armored Saint and Anthrax, turns 63. Mark Bedford, the bassist for the group Madness, turns 65. Michael DeRossier, the original drummer of Heart, turned 75. And Jean-Michel Jarre, the electronic music pioneer known for Oxygen, I have no idea who that is, turns 78 years old today. Happy birthday to them all. On this day in music in 1975, Queen began recording Bohemian Rhapsody at the Rockfeld Studios in Wales. I think that is depicted in the Bohemian Rhapsody film. In 1981, the Rolling Stones released the album Tattoo You, featuring the hit Start Me Up. Also in 1981, Mark David Chapman was sentenced to 20 years to life for the murder of John Lennon. In 1963, my arch nemesis, Stevie Wonder, topped the Billboard album chart with the live album Recorded Live, The 12-Year-Old Genius. And in 2021, sad Rolling Stone news, Charlie Watts, the longtime drummer for the band, died at age 80. And that is your music news for today. Peter says, hope you can make it to the Metamucil Festival in October. Is there really a Metamucil? Goodness gracious. Mark Grissomer's back with traffic on the 8th. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Mark.
It sounds like you need cough syrup rather than Metamucil.
I know, that
at
was
this
this.
point.
I have no. I was laughing at the whole Metamucil thing. At what point in my life, I went to the to the Peach Festival in Manchester. Are you familiar with this?
Oh, it's huge.
Okay, it was
Big
huge.
event.
It was raining, and there was still a crowd out there.
Oh yeah, that's a huge tradition in Manchester. It's been going on forever.
It is 65, 67 years, something like that. So it was a lot.
Yeah.
I was just saying that. Look, I was just telling my friends who invited me there. It's nice. It's pleasant. The music was great. The band was fantastic.
Yep.
But I kind of felt like I was not old enough to be there.
Oh, it was an older crowd.
It was an older crowd. And
I've never been because I don't like Peaches, but it's a huge event in Manchester.
There's a thing that I think that Peaches say a certain, people of a certain age. I don't know why. Never in my life did I ever say, when I was a kid, Mom can have an apple. Mom can have an orange. Never once did we say,
Never peaches,
can I
no.
have a peach? Never once.
No.
They would make us eat peaches. Grandma
Right.
would have one available.
Right.
But I don't ever
I'm sure you've had a few shots of peach tree.
Peach schnapps?
Yep.
Once? Disgusting.
Yeah, it's not my thing either.
Very
Not my thing
syrupy. But no, I'm just saying that I feel like peaches and plums and prunes, certain age is when those things start to become regular.
If you don't like peaches, I would say anytime now in the next couple of weeks, the Sal Haney, Big Boss Steve Sal Haney, the orchard will be pumping out the apples from his orchard. So that's right around the corner.
He never mentioned it.
Oh, man, yeah. The Sal Haney apples, they'll be here in the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
Oh, now I'm going to, he's in the building. I'm going to curse him out now.
Go down there. Yeah, go down there. Hey, when the apples coming,
Yeah,
Steve?
exactly. I'm going to ask him right now. All this
there you
time,
go.
you never mentioned it once.
There you go. Yeah, the Sal Haney apple orchard. Yeah, so
No
that'll
doubt.
be good coming in the next
All
couple
right.
of weeks. Just make sure he doesn't give you one with a worm in it. 84 eastbound coming into Hartford. You got delays 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. Heading into Hartford, southbound 91 slowing by 33. If you are traveling 291 westbound, delays from exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. 2 westbound's a little tight as you merge with 84 west and East Hartford. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. If you are traveling 84 eastbound into Waterbury, slowing 18 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 is tied up from 26 in Cheshire up to the Mixmaster. If you're traveling northbound on the Parkway, look for delays 58B up to 61. And southbound on the Parkway in Wallingford, slowing from 61 down to 58B. Both sides of the highway because of road work going on there. 95 South New Haven, tight 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We've got a partly cloudy sky out there, pretty pleasant, and the overnight period will have a partly cloudy sky as well. The low temperature down to 56 degrees with some lower 50s in the suburbs, so save on air conditioner cost if you can. Sunny to partly sunny tomorrow, 1 or 2 showers in the area. Those will be very far and few between, and anything that develops will only last a couple of minutes. The high temperature 79. Tomorrow night, mainly clear. The fall preview continues with a low of 59 degrees. Sunny to partly sunny on Wednesday, the high 82. Few peaks of sun on Thursday. There will be a thunderstorm or 2 in spots in the afternoon. It'll be a lot more humid, though, with dew points more in the 60s instead of the 40s and 50s. The high temperature, though, up to 81. Mostly cloudy and humid, a thunderstorm around on Friday, the high 82, but mostly sunny, less humid on Saturday, the high 81. Right now, 78 in New Britain, 80 in Vernon, and 80 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
Keep WTIC News Talk 1080 with you all summer long for the information you need. Weather forecasts from Bob Cox help you plan your summertime activities. Taking a trip? Mark Christopher's traffic reports will get you there without the hassle. Plus, up-to-the-minute news reports twice an hour. No matter where you go, listen on the Odyssey or iHeartRadio apps and stay informed with what's going on back in CT. Because when you're on vacation, we're not. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, they picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how did it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask like 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
From politics to news to music to movies and anything above the sun.
Oh, and outer space and beyond, it's Reese on the radio. Damn, he's good. Only on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Reese on the radio, we are back. Joey V says, let it go. I am letting it go. I'm just saying. I was teasing Maria. Maria actually felt bad. She thought I was being mean to her. No, Maria, you didn't do anything wrong. It was nice of you to invite me. You thought I enjoyed it? I did. I enjoyed it. I was just saying, I felt that it wasn't about you. It wasn't about even the people who were there. They were fantastic. Everybody was having a great time. Me, all I did was look at me. Just saying, I was like, why am I here? I felt out of place. And again, not because I'm black. It's because I just don't think I'm that old. I feel like I was, again, just too young. That's all. So, I know, I'm letting it go. I promise I'll let it go. I'll go to another festival. Craig in the car said, anything that has the word festival, I'm not in. I think Craig is like me with this thing. Roland said, I better eat those peaches and be happy. I didn't have any peaches. I didn't have any. So, the WNBA. I've only talked about this when White Mike calls up, because he is absolutely invested in this sport. He was quite critical of it years ago. It's been around now 30 years. He is always, the majority of the time that the WNBA has been here, he has been critical of it. And I've known White Mike since, 2012. So I know his position on this. So his newfound, interest isn't baffling. Not really. I think I understand it. And I have to say it might be a good thing. It might be a good thing that people are having an argument or a debate or there's controversy that's happening in the sport, because the sport in and of itself is straight garbage. Absolute garbage. Or, as we say in Italian, garbaggio. Now, what do I mean by this? Recently, what's his name? Enes Kanter Freedom, just this weekend was at a game and got into a back and forth with a player. The woman's name is Natasha Cloud, who plays in the WNBA. He described what took place. For those of you who saw it, maybe went through your feed, here's Enes Kanter Freedom, who is applied to become a member of the WNBA because of its gender policy, said this.
Sophie Cunningham shot a three, and I put my hands up to celebrate, right? Literally a couple positions later, Natasha came back and started screaming and yelling and said, she's not going to sleep with you. I just got up, and then I was like, I'm just here to protect women, and that's all, right? And then she started to yell. She started to, used some very heavy language. She started to actually cuss. And I was very shocked that there were a lot of kids and that there were a lot of teenagers was at that game. And I just cannot believe that she was just cussing and using those F-bombs in front of all these kids.
Now, if you heard that in the beginning, he said Natasha Cloud initiated the conversation with Enes Kanter Freedom because he cheered on Sophie Cunningham making a three. Natasha Cloud starts shouting at him, she's not going to sleep with you. In essence, saying because you cheer for her, she's not going to have sex with you. Which means the only reason why Enes Kanter Freedom would be there celebrating her is because she's an attractive woman. And saying he has eyes for her. And demeaning Sophie Cunningham in that way, or sexualizing her, was the whole purpose of making the claim. And then wanting to fight Enes Kanter Freedom by approaching him, having to be held back while she's cursing at a game that he has nothing to do with. All he did was celebrate her three-point shot.
We got, came and then I was like, listen, you need to leave. I was like, can you please tell me why do I need to leave? They said, look, you just need to leave. And they literally, I don't want to say they dragged me, but like they pretty much like pushed me to leave the gym.
Yeah, pushed him to leave the gym. And this has gotten a lot of attention. It's everywhere. And Zach, you're on to me. Zach figured it out. Zach says in the chat room, Scallywags all, it's the most entertaining the WNBA has ever been. He's right. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple of years back, Bill Burr made this very astute observation.
Look at the WNBA. Dude, nobody in the WNBA got COVID. Nobody. They've been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? That place should be packed with feminists. Faces painted, wearing jerseys, going nuts like the guys do. None of you went to the games. None of you. You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on. That's it. Name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your city. You can't do it. You don't give a about them. They play night in and night out in front of nobody. It's a tragedy. Right? And then meanwhile...
And here it is. Meanwhile...
You look at the Kardashians. They're making billions. You know those Real Housewives shows? They're making money hand over fist because that's what women are watching. And the money listens. You don't want to watch this you watch this They just shoot it over there, drowning these in money. In purses, in shoes, in Botox. It's just raining. It's raining money. You'd rather watch that Real Housewives, bunch of women just tearing each other down. Well, maybe that's why your husband left you. Maybe that's why your husband left. That's why you can't have kids. That's the message you sent. We would rather watch that than see a bunch of women come together as a team and try to achieve a common goal. We would rather watch them absolutely destroy each other. Yeah.
He is 100% on point. The reason why the WNBA is now successful is because it's eating itself alive. Just like the Kardashians, just like the Real Housewives, all of it. It's exactly what the ladies want. It's got drama. It's got girls against girls. Girls against alleged girls. Doesn't matter. That's where it is. That's the whole kit and caboodle. And it doesn't matter that Enes Kanter Freedom or Royce White. It doesn't matter that they get into the fold. It's the fact that there is one part of the league that is fighting against the other part of the league. It is. Be it, lesbians versus, heterosexual, white versus black. Doesn't matter. It's girl fights. It's girl fights. The pushing, the shoving, the hacking, the fouling. That's it. It's literally saving the league. I wouldn't be surprised if someone at the NBA, someone even at the WNBA, is looking around and sees the stadium is filling up. The rivalries through the roof. And someone going, hey, pulling a little Vince McMahon in all of this. Hey, it'd be really good. It'd be really good. You start creating the drama. You start nudging them. Hey, heard Sophie Cunningham called you the B word. Just saying. Just start putting it out there. Next thing you know, it's clotheslines, noogies, somebody's in the sleeper hold, kicking, scratching. It's real housewives with the free throws. That's all. It's the old Bumpy Johnson rule, where you can run the show, but we own the show. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Q, 100%. I think that's the way to save it. It is the most it has ever been talked about. When it was just the regular league, no one cared. No one cared. And they won't. That's all I'm saying. So, maybe, I don't know. Not that I will ever watch it. I can't do it. It's way too many missed shots. It just is. You ever sit there and you watch something and you're annoyed about it? It's like the cake is never made. Ugh. Like, when are we going to get there? Ugh. Just waiting, how many shots are you going to take before it goes in the basket? You're just sitting there, just watching every brick in the world being thrown by these women. I'm just going, ugh. I'll see the highlights of a game and it'll just Galaxy squeaks one out. The score is 15-7. I don't know. Were they playing soccer? What game is this? I was watching this part. When the numbers hit 70 points, and I'm going, wow, that seems like that may have been a game. I'm usually used to 50, maybe 60 points at best. But if you really want to look at the comparison, what is the average game now in the NBA, right? We're looking at 118, 135 points. Still can't believe it. That's far, far more than that's it. If I see a regular NBA game in the low 90s as a winning score, I go, well, what happened in this game? Who was injured? Did only the bench play? What's going on? I would love to see an old-fashioned dynasty-style cat fight in the WNBA game. Valerie, you and me both. But here's what makes it better. I'm hoping, Valerie, this would make it better. I hope that the league would be so PC, so politically correct, that the male ref is not allowed to break them up should he, touch an inappropriate spot in doing so. They make a female ref do it. And then, there's three ladies scrubbing it out. It's because the guys don't want to get in that scrum, right? It's a bunch of women, scrapping, grabbing each other, usually hair. The guy gets in there and he grabs him. He is going to touch someplace inappropriately because, again, it's a cat fight. So you got to force women to break that up. Just do that. Did you see the article about Tong concealing his email? I did not. Colluding to sue Trump before he was even... No, where's... Send that story to me. Let's take a break. Let's get to the the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Mark Christopher is there. How you doing, sir?
Can't they start a league with transsexuals, maybe?
Yeah, but you
Wouldn't
can't...
that solve the problem?
Yeah, but you only have 7 players.
Yeah, that could be a problem. Maybe they do a 3-on-3 league.
Yeah, it would just be them playing all year. Just those 2 games.
Exactly.
Every game's a championship.
Exactly. You get a certificate and a trophy for participating.
Indeed.
Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, 84 eastbound's a little tight. 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. We have an accident 84 eastbound between exit 48 and 49. That is sitting in the left lane there, just prior to the tunnel. So look out for that. If you are traveling on the westbound side of 84, a little tight approaching the Boakley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 91 southbound's a little slow at 33, again down by exit 28 on the Hartford-Weathersfield line. 291 westbound slowing exit 2 up to the Bissell Bridge in South Windsor. If you're heading eastbound 84 into Waterbury, delays 18 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 is a little slow, 22 to the Mixmaster. Both sides of the parkway dealing with delays in Wallingford. Northbound Parkway 58B up to 61. Southbound Parkway 61 down to 58B with some road work going on there. South 95, New Haven slowing from 48 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Feeling a bit like fall over the next couple of days. Overnight, partly cloudy down to 56 degrees. Sunny to partly sunny tomorrow. A shower in 1 or 2 spots. The high temperature 79. Clear down to 59 degrees tomorrow night. Sunny to partly sunny. The high 82 on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, things will change. It'll get a little bit more humid with a few peaks of sun and a shower in the afternoon. The high temperature 81. Mostly cloudy, humid, a stray thunderstorm Friday. The high 82. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 5:30. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The U.S. is bringing the hammer down on Iran economically. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent had this warning for nations who don't fall in line.
Those who stand with the United States will reap the rewards of our partnership. Those who tether themselves to the Iranian regime should expect to share in the isolation of a withering regime.
It's being dubbed Economic D-Day, the campaign underway to sever the remaining global ties of Iran through a massive sanctions campaign. An Ansonia police officer is facing disorderly conduct charges for an off-duty incident. Officer Denise Ruiz is charged. Police say the arrest stems from an incident earlier this month. A warrant says on August 10th, family members called police after Ruiz became combative after spending the day down in Stamford at a festival, after which she was briefly hospitalized. Statement from the police chief says the department holds its officers to a high standard, and internal investigation into the matter is underway. The warrant states that Ruiz was intoxicated when officers arrived at her home that night. Police in Hartford investigating a fatal stabbing, and they've now made an arrest. Officers were dispatched to Bond Street early this morning on a report of a verbal altercation that became physical. A woman identified as 32-year-old Nicole Talado was found stabbed, and now under arrest is 47-year-old Victor Rivera. He's from Hartford, charged with murder. Bond set at $2.5 million. Suspect in the fatal stabbing Saturday of a woman in Rocky Hill has been apprehended in upstate New York. Michael Ranger is charged with murder and violating a protective order. The victim was found at the Lexington Estates complex Saturday night. Police say the incident was domestic in nature. The United States and Canada trading barbs back and forth. New tariffs expected to raise prices for products in both countries, each side blaming the other for the collapse of negotiations in Washington late Friday. Dow finished up 140 points today. The NASDAQ lost 200, and the S&P was down 21 points. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Don Cusson here. In partnership with Napa Auto Parts and Auto Care Shops Coast to Coast, We have raised over $14 million since 2012 for the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. Through the end of September, a portion of every cuss and repair invoice will be donated to the fund. The fund was designed to help those armed forces and their families that are dealing with traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress. The fund has the experience required to get our heroes back to service or home safely. I thank you all for your trust and patronage in all that we do.
Cussin Automotive, we're all American.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
All right, we're back. I'm reading the story on the 100 AGs as it relates to President Trump. I'll have that story for you in a second. Stand by for that. Stupidest thing I read today, last week on Newsnight. Senator Jen also was a Democrat of Georgia after he went after President Trump. On HuffPost on August 23rd, they turned it into a real-life seminar on the story. Oh, goodness gracious, this is old. I'm sorry. This is a stupid old... I have no idea why I even grabbed this. This is the dumbest mistake I've ever made. It's an old story. I don't want to repeat that ridiculous old story to you. It's an old Ossoff story. Let me just tell you the whole story about William Tong, and the Democratic AGs. So it says Democratic AGs conceal records of pro-election plot to sue Trump. Pre-election plot to sue Trump. Democratic state attorneys generals are stonewalling public records requests for thousands of 2024 emails that show they coordinated a plan to sue the second Trump administration months before voters even cast ballots. That means they knew he was going to win. That's all that meant. A privileged and confidential common interest agreement obtained by the Center Square reveals that at least 22 Democratic attorney generals signed on as early as April 28 of 2024. That was 3 months before Joe Biden dropped out of the race, 3 months before Kamala Harris became the nominee, and roughly 7 months before Trump won the election. 0 Republicans attorney generals signed into it. The effort carried the internal nickname as Project for Federal Accountability. The agreement explicitly aimed to let AG share strategy while protecting materials from public disclosure. Maryland signed May 20th, Nevada May 21st, California left their date blank. Hawaii's AG signed a week after the election. Since January of 2025, they coordinated lawsuits and have numbered roughly 100. California AG Rob Bonta alone has joined at least 82 of them at the cost of $19 million of California taxpayer dollars. Colorado's Phil Weisner has joined 75+. Washington and Arizona are also heavy participants. And, of course, you know that William Tong is up there in the, I think, 50 of them as well. He's listed. I'll have some more on this when we come back. Stand by. Mark Christopher is got traffic and weather on the 8s. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Matt, thank you for this story. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're 84 eastbound heading into Hartford, delays 46 Citizen Avenue into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is a little tight coming out of the tunnel out to 47 Sigourney. If you're traveling 91 north and southbound, easy ride crawling up to Windsor Locks. 291 westbound, slowing 2 up to the Bissell Bridge. If you are heading into the Waterbury area, 84 eastbound delays 18 to the Mixmaster. Westbound 84 slows 22 to the Mixmaster. If you are heading into New Haven, South 95 slowing 46 down to 43 in West Haven. And in Wallingford, both sides of the Parkway heavy, northbound between 58B and 61, southbound Parkway between 61 and 58B because of road work going on there. Traffic and weather together on the 8s, WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
And for the first day of school for the Hartford Public Schools tomorrow, you're going to start out with a partly cloudy sky. It'll feel like fall with the low temperature down to 56 degrees. We've got a great afternoon the rest of the day, and then a partly cloudy sky tonight. Tomorrow, sunny to partly cloudy, a shower in the area during the afternoon, the high temperature 79. Those will be very far and few between, though. Tomorrow night, clear down to 59 degrees, sunny to partly cloudy. On Wednesday, the high temperature 82. And then on Thursday, there will be a thunderstorm in spots during the afternoon with a high of 81. Another stray thunderstorm on Friday. Humidity creeps up again, the high temperature 82, but then for the weekend, mostly sunny and less humid on Saturday, the high 81. Right now, it's 75 in Hamden, 79 in Stafford, and 79 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
Making sense of it all and having fun. That's how we would sum up our show. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. It's what happens when you take a Gen Xer, a millennial, and a baby boomer and give them a radio show.
We go through the news the same way you and your friends would, taking the serious stuff seriously while also laughing at the absurd.
Each one of us brings a unique perspective to the news of the day, closing the generation gap in a way no other talk show can. Hear Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins weeknights 6 until 9 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
And now, a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at Progressive.com.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation. Because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special, both for you and your partner. At Northeast Men's Health, we're the leader in treating ED in the area. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 7 offices, including our new office in Bridgewater.
Paid for by government. Have you heard? The United States Mint has released a first-ever dual-date 1776 to 2026 American Eagle silver dollar in collector quality. Minted in 99.9% pure silver with a 1-year-only Liberty Bell 250th special privy to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Coin experts are calling this an amazing limited-time opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of the Silver Eagle. These limited edition collector quality Silver Eagles are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted at the iconic West Point Mint. Call now and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver dual dated 1-year only issue Silver Eagle. The first time in history this has happened, but with limited quantities you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7618. If you order now, you'll receive a free collector bonus of $50 value free with every order. Call 1-800-888-7618 now to secure your new 2026 American Silver Eagle before they are gone.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is. You know who it is.
It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we're back. Reese on the radio. Let me see. Okay, so according to this report, it does not say when Connecticut joined the efforts with these attorneys general. They said Connecticut is listed by the center square among the Democrat AG's offices that have either refused to release the 2024 emails or declined comment entirely on the project for federal accountability. Common interest agreement. Tong's office has not publicly confirmed whether or when it's signed. And we need to know, because according to this, William Tong has joined in 45 lawsuits. He has bragged about it. By the end of 2025, he publicly claimed that his office had sued the Trump administration 45 times. And all of that is being paid for by the taxpayer here. So now that we know that this organization was formed well before the election, it is important that the Tong administration answer that question. When did you join? When did you commit? What did you commit? And hiding those emails and believing in any way that it is not a part of the public record or we have no right to see them. Oh, baby. Oh. I want to have that discussion immediately. I mean, like yesterday. And I know that we have contact with his office. So I want a statement like yesterday. Oh, I hope no press releases come out. That would be interesting. But anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in due course. That's my wife calling me now. Can somebody contact John Bolton for me? Somebody tell John Bolton to get a hold of this article. I just sent it to him. I sent it to him in a text. Craig in the car. What's going on, sir?
You want my cannabis story?
Yes. What? Yes. Please give me your cannabis story.
I can't believe I have one, but I actually do.
Okay.
So, couple years ago, I'm in Amsterdam.
Okay.
And when I travel, I like to go to a nice cigar lounge, cigar bar, have a cocktail, a nice smoke. So now I'm in the cannabis capital of the universe.
Very much so.
So I Google cigar lounges. Sure enough, it pops up. The greatest cigar lounge in Europe.
Okay.
Is 3 miles away from the hotel. So there's no Ubers there. So, you know, I hoof it all the way 3 miles. I get to the cigar
What do you mean
lounge.
you hoof it? You walk it?
I walked it.
Okay.
All right. So I get there, and beautiful, beautiful cigar shop. And
Okay.
I'm talking to the owner, and I said, so where's the lounge? He goes, oh, we don't have a lounge anymore. The government shut them down.
Wow.
I said, wait a minute. You're in Amsterdam? You have a cigar lounge and you can't have a lounge? He says, yep, that's the way it works here.
There's no smoking
So I said,
indoors?
Oh, no. You can smoke a doobie in church. You just can't smoke a cigar in a cigar lounge.
Well, I knew that's where you were going. Is that what they mean by they shut it down? Like marijuana's permitted everywhere, but a cigar, you horrible smoker.
Everywhere. People are sitting at restaurants outside smoking dope. It's all fine. Everything's good. But God forbid you have a white owl.
Yeah. Isn't that wild? That is insanity.
Craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, what are you what are you going to say? Again, it's just that's exactly the place where we are today. It's just where we are. So
it reminds me of Connecticut. It's like the Amsterdam of New England. It's nuts.
Okay, I guess you could say that. Thank you as always, sir. Hey, you finally give me some. You finally give me some relief. I wore the shirt. I couldn't find it, but I
did.
I couldn't find it, but I did wear it.
It wears like butter, doesn't it?
It does. It's a nice feeling shirt. I love the feeling of that shirt. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate the shout out. Thank you, man.
No, my pleasure. Let's go to Phil. How we doing, Phil?
Oh, not too bad, sir. Hey, just tuned in. I haven't heard a lot of today's show, and been mea culpa. Haven't heard a lot in the past few weeks. Been busy, but can we put out a silver alert for Frank in Woodbury? I haven't heard from him in a while.
You mean Frank in Woodbridge?
Yeah, or Woodbridge.
Yeah, in Woodbridge. You know what? There's a long story behind that. Nothing against Frank, but he's still out there. He just doesn't call as often as he used to.
Okay, the gold's down.
Gold. That's probably why he hasn't called. That's probably why he hasn't called. You know how that goes. You give a stock tip when it's up. When it's down, you never hear from the guy. He's immediately absolutely like dunzo as a public figure. He waits until he goes up and he goes, see, I told you should have waited.
The other thing is, and you're a gentleman and a excellent person for not bringing this up, but I'm going to bring it up for you. You were robbed.
I was robbed?
With the WTIC.
No. Listen.
Talk. I understand.
No. There's nothing to understand. Can I address that? And I thank you for bringing it up.
Please.
I really, because I know. See, so somebody, for those of you who don't know, I had posted on my Facebook page that I was absolutely happy, and I still do it. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Brian and Company, Computer Talk with Tab, Morgan Cunningham, they were all, I think we got 6 nominations for WTIC. And these guys are the hardest working people in radio. And I know I sound biased because I work with these guys, but there were so many people who responded by saying, how is there no Reese on the radio? I appreciate everyone saying that about this program. But I get it. I do understand it. I'm not one of them. I'm not. I accept it. I accept that I am not one of them. And it is okay for me not to be. I got to stand on my own. And those things, you're probably not a fan of A Tribe Called Quest, but Phife Dawg says, I don't need a statue to tell me how nice I am. I don't need it. I already know. You guys give me an award every day. Like I told you, when you guys make this show Appointment Radio, when you show up, you vote for me every day, hours on hours a day, and it is all the accolades I need. So I totally appreciate where you're coming from.
Sir, I appreciate your modesty. I appreciate your modesty. That's all I can say. But
it's okay. It's okay. But I appreciate you.
I am officially PO'd.
No. I appreciate you feeling the way that you feel about it, and I appreciate you expressing that when it comes to me. Listen, you have to understand, you calling up and saying that, and that being on your mind, and you being affected by that, that's the reward. That's the award. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like you calling up saying that I was robbed, or you calling up saying that I deserve it, that's the award. I don't need it. No statue is going to match what you just did for me.
I understand, sir. I understand completely, but I just wanted to let you know there are those of us out here that appreciate you more than you can understand.
Thank you, sir. I really do appreciate that. And I will never, ever let you down just because of that.
Night.
Thank you, sir. Good night. And again, it's tough to hear that from you guys, because I know a lot of you expressed it. They're like, I was looking at some of the comments and I was just going, so many people were angry, just like, don't be. It's okay. It is okay. What you say about me, what you say to me, the messages that you send, the comments that you put on there, I'm okay. I don't need anything on my mantle. I got you guys. I really do. I need you to know that. Please never do. And again, that's another part. I'm never going to be a part of those groups. And you know that when I first got here, I said, don't invite me to your parties. Don't invite me to your little galas and anything. I want no parts of that. I got the people that I need. And that's you. I am never trying to curry favor with the people, with the powerful folks or the people with the influence. You're the only influence that matters here. You make this state. You are the blood, the sweat. You are the anatomy of this great state. You. And as long as I got you, I got everything. That's why I come in and I work so hard. I put 8 hours into this show, and I'm only on for maybe, considering the commercial breaks, I'm on for 2 hours and 58 minutes. And I dedicate my entire day. When I am not at work, I'm at work. So please you don't have to worry about me. I love you guys. So And again, bottom of my heart, I'll always mean that. Who is this? Morgan calling from Washington. Hello, Morgan. How are you?
Hey, Reese. Couple quick things. Didn't Rep Khan try to sue the police after she was attacked outside in Hartford?
So, I'm sorry, you got interrupted in my ear. Say that one more time.
Didn't Representative Khan try to sue the police after she was attacked in Hartford?
Yes, she blamed the police for an attack by some lunatic who, by the way, ended up killing himself in jail. She was attacked as she was leaving a religious event in the city of Hartford. She claimed that the city of Hartford police failed to protect her. It had nothing to do with it. And a good Samaritan actually saw her being attacked and came to her aid. He ended up being charged because, I guess he injured the guy in some way. I think that's now been thrown out. But yeah, she did go after the police, saying that they failed to protect her at that religious event.
Yeah, just very interesting. Another thing is there's a Redman song that you can use for that when you were talking about the mall fight earlier. That's a sample. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Is this the recent one where he talks about smacking the?
No, his classic, his old hit. Let the monkeys out. Let me tell you what it's all about.
That's right. I do know that one. That was the reference I was using from the Redman song.
Good, yeah, I just say roll it, Greg. Just throw a quick sample on there and just hit that.
Thank you, boss. I appreciate you.
Did you see early voting numbers?
No, are they out yet?
Not yet, but I saw before they ended that on I think it was either Friday night or Saturday night that there was 81,000 Democrat and only like 9,000 Republican. Obviously, Republicans didn't have as much to vote for as Democrats did in primaries.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the primary numbers. I'm like, we didn't get early voting on the general yet, did we? Okay, I do remember that. In fact, I did a whole story about that. If you go to the Rundown on Facebook, I actually did a story about that.
Okay, I'll check it out. Yeah, but I was pretty surprised on the drastic.
Yeah, the numbers are actually skewed. The article that was written, that's the whole reason why I did the Rundown piece, because the numbers are actually skewed. They are not accurate, and the way in which they try to twist it is a little bit of a bait and switch.
Oh, okay, perfect.
All right. Yeah, man, I try. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Mike.
He got it. Hey, it's Waterbury. Not Waterbury. It's Wall Street Joe. What's going on, sir?
Yeah, hi. I got a great advice for you, but I want to correct something. Frank in Woodbridge, I want to save him the call in to correct the gold price. Gold has almost hit an all-new-time high today. It's within $30 or $40. It did take a big hit the past couple of months. It got down about $3,700, $3,800. It's up another $70 today. It's $46.60, and I think the all-time high is just under $4,700. Silver's a different story. Silver's still down about $52. But that's coming back too. So gold is right near its all-time high, and it'll probably hit 5,000 before the end of the year.
Okay.
Just wanted to correct. That's a fact. Okay. That's in my wheelhouse. I've noticed.
Yeah, I know it is. What else you got for me before I let you go?
All right. This is Roseanne. I hope you're listening, and of course Roland's listening. I've got a plan for you to get national attention on this WNBA stuff with the near brawls, etc. Now you have press credentials, so you could get, just like Spike Lee at the Madison Square Garden, you could be right on courtside with the press at the Mohegan Sun, to cover a Connecticut Sun game. Now when Indiana Fever comes in with Caitlin Clark and Montgomery, whatever her name is, you wear a Caitlin Clark jersey, wear a wig like you're a transsexual. Roseanne's your wife, and you're on the side. You're on the side at near midcourt with the press, screaming, cheering on Caitlin and her teammate. And when the Connecticut Sun women have had enough of you, they're going to confront you. And when they start screaming, she's not going to sleep with you, your wife will scream, no, but she's going to sleep with me. And you're going to get all these, you'll get Caitlin Clark and all the controversial people as guests on your show. You'll make national attention. How does that sound?
That sounds like a brilliant idea. All but the wig part. But you know what? If it's something for fun that we could do, maybe I could consider it.
So you got to wear the wig because that makes you a transsexual. That gives you more credentials.
That's all it takes, apparently. Thank you, Joe.
And Roseanne is already your wife. She's already your wife.
Thank you, Joe. All right, we got to get up out of here. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese of the Radio. You have a good night, a pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you back here mañana at 2 p.m. Don't be late. Mark Christopher, he's keeping you from being late to get home. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Good night, sir.
All right, good night, Reese. Thank you. If you're heading into Hartford right now, 84 eastbound, a little tap of the brakes as you move into the Hartford Tunnel. Both sides of 91, easy ride now. Cromwell up into Windsor Locks. 291 westbound, slowing, approaching the Bissell Bridge. 2 westbound looks good. Heading into Middletown, that's quiet.